Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer.
All right, there we are. Let me do a little bit of adjustment here.
Am I allowed to speak yet?
Oh, go for it. Yeah, we're on. I just had,
All right.
I just had to make an adjustment.
I'm here. It's me, John Beatles, also known as John Video Games Linneman. So, unfortunately, I am remote because Corey is doing stuff, but I think he'll be here at some point.
Yes.
But I'm here. But me, as the ambassador of video games,
Yeah. So,
I'm here to watch you enjoy some PlayStation Portable, the Portable.
yeah, I
as
don't
they
know
say.
why PSP just
The
like
Pizzy.
popped in my head today as something that sounded fun to do.
As a fan of the PSP, the Pizzy,
I mean,
the
it's not.
PlayStation Portable,
It's not
I'm
a
happy
system
that
I
you
put a
chose
lot
it.
of time into in recent years, you know?
Yeah, I pull it out. I was just playing through Gurumin from Falcom on there,
Oh, yeah.
and that's still very pleasant.
Yeah. Man, I've got a stack of PSP games right here. Most of these I have not even booted. So
Well, we're gonna find out tonight just what it's
we're
like.
gonna find out. Now, Ridge Racer here, though, this is a game I've played before. I've not booted this copy before, but I did have this game around launch.
I would have been bummed out if you. I mean, I had this game at launch, day one. I actually think I bought 5 games with my PSP.
Oh man.
With the PSP. No, I got this. I got Metal Gear Acid, Wipeout, Twisted Metal Head On, and of course, Luminous.
Yeah, I got Luminous and I made a profile earlier, but I haven't done anything in this. But anyway, yeah, I had Luminous and I had this. And I kind of had a falling out with the PSP, like after maybe a year, because I got it like maybe a couple of weeks after launch. And it was like, there just wasn't a lot of things coming out that interested me at the time anyway. Like looking back, it's probably like, oh, there's probably actually a lot of good stuff that came out.
There was a lot of good stuff, but the first half at launch was amazing, but after launch it was a little slow. I agree,
and
for a
then
bit.
when Metal Gear Portable Ops came out that I just like threw up my hands and was like, I'm done with this thing, and got rid of it and didn't get another until the 3000 era. And the thing about that annoyed me about that, like, really, there probably weren't that many games like this, but in my head, what the offense was it was trying too hard to be the console experience in portable form, and it wasn't really equipped to be that. It didn't have the buttons, it didn't have the analog stick. And Metal Gear Portable Ops just felt like it was trying to do too much. And then over the years, this system really did come into its own. But
Exactly, and I would say, by and large, that's not really the case. I would say there were games like that for sure.
yeah,
But there was a lot of stuff that really is excellent on the PSP.
but at the time, that was kind of my impression. And I'm like, you know what? Like, if this is what this system's going to be, like,
I always thought the issue with portable ops wasn't like the design itself is actually really well suited to portable play. The issue is more that they use the full third-person camera when I feel that they should have embraced the old style fixed camera angles of like MGS 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think if they had done that, it would have worked a lot better.
Right, because weren't there a whole bunch of control setups where you could put the camera on the buttons, face buttons. You could put the camera on the D-pad. You could put the camera in all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, just don't do that. Just don't do that. This device is not set up for that. Just don't do it.
Thankfully, they had Metal Gear Acid. Those 2 games were superb.
I've never played those. I don't have those.
Because they are. So why don't you go ahead and start playing at least, so
Yeah,
people
I'm
can see the
working
game.
on it.
But Acid is essentially a turn-based Metal Gear game played with cards. That sounds silly, but you really are like doing Metal Gear Solid style maps. You know, you're stealthing through it, you're walking through those environments. It's just that all your
Sandy on my lap kind of stream setup. I'm afraid to tell you, but we'll try.
okay.
She really wanted to sit in my lap.
But either way, give Metal Gear Acid a shot. I would recommend.
I'll just go with.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Get ready to race.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm generally not into like real card games, but I do enjoy
It's not-
card elements in video games because I like the. I think a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's a nice balance between having control over your deck, but also having an element of randomness.
That's the way to think about Acid. Is it's basically just like Metal Gear style attacks and like moves you can do and items you can use, but it's just like randomized.
How do I not have this first person view?
I can't tell because the stream is delayed.
Oh,
but it
there
should.
we
I think
go.
it's like
L
the,
button.
well, the R or L button.
Yeah, it was the L button.
This is weird. I'm using these headphones that my dad had here. They're like these Bose noise canceling ones, and it certainly cancels some noise.
Yeah.
I can hear only you speaking.
Oh well, that's.
No. What I mean
That's
is like I
intentional.
can hear nothing else in my environment around me.
Oh.
Oh man! Even though I am delayed watching your stream here, I still think this game looks unbelievably impressive.
Yeah, I mean the decals on my car are
Low
Well,
res.
pretty low res for sure. But I'm playing. I believe this is the first time I've hooked up the PSP to
Ooh.
the Retrode 4K button.
Oh, nice.
I just loaded up the Wobbling Pixels profile.
Right.
There's several of them, but I use the one that just fills the screen perfectly with bilinear sharp because I don't think an integer scale quite works, but I could be wrong.
Right.
Because it was like 7.9 something.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Oh man, I just love the way this game looks, man. It's it really bummed me out that when this game. So I actually think the 3DS game is technically more detailed, but it
Yeah.
kind of looks worse overall
Mm.
because it runs at 30 FPS. The reflections update at like 15 FPS, and they're pixelated. So even though it has like some increased detail, I think the lighting and like the fluidity of this works just better.
There's
You know
some
what I mean?
sort of strobing going on, it almost looks like, on the rear window there.
Weird. I can't really tell.
Yeah, I don't like. There's some sort of like flickering of some kind. It's hard to describe.
Huh. It's hard to tell through the stream, I will say that much. Oh, but
And-
we've got a super chat from Genova Vienna. I'm so
There
sorry,
you
I'm
go.
terrible with names. $2, and they say, John, I love your perspective on the 32X.
Oh man.
That's very nice. I love that. I love the 32X
You
actually.
wouldn't believe how many how many comments came on last week's stream after the fact of people being very concerned for your health and well-being, but they're just like,
Oh.
it doesn't seem so good. It's like, dude, he like landed in America like 2 days ago. He's still jet lagged.
I was super jet lagged that night.
Like, I mean, I when I came back from your place, I was I was like, for a good several days, I was ready to go to bed like 9 p.m.
Yep.
Like,
exactly.
I
It hits
just,
you. It's
like,
like, oh.
I'm just like, it's 9 p.m. and I feel like I should not be going to bed, but I'm done.
Yep, that's how I feel. I'm good now though, for the next few days, and then it's back to Deutschland.
Yeah. So are you even going? Are you going back like Friday or
Thursday?
Okay. Oh, okay. So 2 whole weekends. Have you had a chance to meet up with Corey again?
I met up with him twice, and then we stopped over there yesterday for something else, and hopefully we'll hang out again Tuesday.
Cool. Yeah, so people were like, "Man, like John just looks like he's not doing very good."
I was falling asleep in the chair. But thankfully I was okay driving back. I just, blasted the air.
Yeah, there's a little bit of, I don't know if you can see on the stream, but like in like those black sort of semi-transparent things, and you can see it on the windshield. There's some sort of strobing. I don't.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh, I see it there now. I don't think you could. I suspect you don't really see it on a. Do you see it on the PSP screen?
Well,
if you look down,
I can't see it on. It blanks out the.
Oh,
I always forget that.
Right.
I always forget.
It blanks
that,
out the screen.
You can't see it.
I wonder if it's just like.
I don't think it's an illusion because of like. I do have BFI on, don't I? I think I do, but actually no, I don't think I do. I don't have BFI on.
Please insert those black frames.
Yeah, I don't have it on. Well, it's not going to be good for every game we play tonight, so I'm going to play without. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's definitely not that. So yeah, I don't know what it is. I suspect it might have something to do with how they're trying to like mask the dithering or something.
Yeah, because I think PSP games mostly were 16-bit color, so there's quite a bit of dithering. I think they're
doing some sort of trick. Oh, I recognize this course from Ridge Racer 7.
Oh, it's also in 7. Isn't this also in Type 4?
Wait, no. I think you're right. It is.
This is Type 4.
Yes, you're right. This track I don't think was in 7.
Good man, though. I just racing around this with everything. When you just look at the fluidity and like the attractiveness of the design, and then you remember this game is 20 years old, and it was a portable game. Like really, it really felt like some kind of like wizardry at the time. Just in terms of
look at that beautiful sunset. Like,
right?
Just the use
like
of the
it's
color
like just
in the sky.
Seeing a game that looked like this on a portable machine in 2004, late 2004 in Japan. What's interesting is for Ridge Racers 2, they actually added some visual effects. So,
yeah. But overall, neat, technically similar, I assume.
It's very similar. They added this kind of interesting bloom lighting effect for certain things, like the night track with the neon signs. They all have like this intense blooming going on that looks neat. It gives it a different vibe. But yeah, this game, man. Ridge Racer, God, I just miss the series so much, man. And I'm so sad that Ridge Racer 8 never happened.
I know. And then Corey got the Vita game at Midwest Gaming Classic, but that one's like really designed around like single match races. Like there's not like a good campaign, right?
There's not a good campaign. The thing that sucks about that one is it actually looks amazing and the soundtrack is great, as it should be in Ridge Racer, but like the 3DS game, it's also 30 frames per second. And like you said, there's just no depth to the single player stuff. It was intended to be played online, so the single player offerings are pretty lousy.
Yeah.
And which is a shame because I feel like what they did with it, like it has the bones of a great racing game. And it also has some cool bonuses. Like it has the Daytona car in there and like a remix of the original Ridge Racer theme sung by Mitsuyoshi, which is awesome. But yeah, I think there was supposed to be a new Ridge Racer lined up for this new generation of consoles, and it got killed off.
And some
I'd heard about that.
You mean this generation?
Yes, there was a PS5 Ridge Racer in development, from what I've heard.
Dang.
I don't really want to go into more details about it because I don't know what's known, what's allowed to be said. But the fact that did not happen continues to bum me out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, Namco is like, I mean, they're still around and they're still doing a lot of stuff. Although I think of them almost more as a publisher. Like, they do have a lot of in-house stuff.
Oh, they still do. They still do
But-
great internal stuff. I mean,
but
Tekken's great. Ace Combat's great.
Yeah, but it's just it's different in terms of the quantity of output, I feel. You know?
I mean, games just takes longer to make now, so.
Yeah, but I mean, they were just like, you know, from, you know, 8-bit up to, like, up until they, I mean, you know, not to like blame the merger of Bandai Namco on anything.
I know what you're saying.
But like, it does feel like a different era to me. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
once we lost that original Namco logo, it was over.
I know. I mean, you know, I think it's kind of silly because like people say the same thing about like Squaresoft. And like people are like, oh man, once it was Square Enix, that was the end of the good days. And it's like, I mean,
not
there is
really.
a different character, but in some ways, but I don't know. I think Square Enix for the most part still does pretty darn good. Even though
I think so too.
you know, it is different, sure. I mean, I think it's just because, you know, they came off of that PS1 era, which was just bonkers good for them, right?
Right.
And I would say less so for Enix. You know, like Enix in that PS1 generation was a lot more subdued, I would say.
I mean, they did publish PS1 generation. I mean, they published a lot of interesting stuff, like Tri-Aces games.
Honestly, I have never been clear the extent to which Enix, standalone Enix, was ever actually a developer.
Good question.
Because, you know, they were
You're right.
They were doing like publishing like Quintet and games, and you know, like Dragon Quest wasn't even really an internal development. That was like
So maybe it is kind of that thing where they just have a bunch of different. I mean,
yeah, because Dragon Quest.
I guess it depends on how many of those developers do they own? Like, or is it just they partner with?
It's not like Yuji Horii was an Enix employee because he collaborated with SquareSoft on Chrono Trigger. You know.
Right. Okay. Well, So you're continuing through the world of Ridge Racer.
I'm going to try to finish this first. I think. Okay. Yeah, it says final round. I wanted to get a little foothold on my new save in this game, since you know I don't have my.
Sure.
Actually, you know what's funny? I've got a funny story for you.
Well, before we get to that funny story, we've got a super chat from Tony Escobar.
Oh,
for $19.99.
Dr. Tony Escobar.
The man himself is here, and he says, "It's been awesome seeing you all together these past 2 weeks since you're playing the PSP. Which FF do you think was superior on PSP? Thanks for all the great content you create separately and together, especially the Final Fantasy XIV DF episode. Funny you mentioned that." Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I just finished a new Final Fantasy XIV episode for DF.
That's right.
Focused on, I mean, it's on the surface, it's an Xbox review, but it's also, I kind of try to pitch it as like one last look at, you know, the game as it basically has been since version 2.0.
Right.
Because the visual makeup of the game is going to have some fairly significant adjustments. Whoa, that was terrible. So yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have that soon. But for now, though, I'd like you to get to your funny story.
Oh, well, hang on. We got answer. What was this question about? Which FF do we think was superior?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Absolutely. We got which.
I mean, Final Fantasy IV is. I mean, that's a pretty common answer that a lot of people have. I would say for like the best. For the best version of Final Fantasy IV. That is a really good version. I do like that one a lot.
That's probably... That's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never played like Type 0.
I have played Type 0, and I do like it. I think I like Type 0 on PSP better than the HD version.
Oh, yeah?
Too. Yeah, the HD version's a bit weird.
Yeah, I got a year or so ago, I got a copy of the PSP version. Not that I'm likely to play it because it's in Japanese, but you know, I just got it because it was at a convention. It was like really cheap, and I was just like, oh, well, this will make good B-roll. In fact, I think I used it in some B-roll for something I gave to you. I want to say at some point. I don't remember. But anyway, that one's. And you know what? I think is kind of a. I mean, this is known, but I think a lot of people probably don't know this. There's a PSP version of the 3D remake of 3.
Yeah.
That has a Japanese physical copy with English on the UMD.
Oh,
so that's pretty neat. And I really like that game. I like the look of. I feel like the look,
I do too.
I feel like the look of that game is a bit divisive, but I think it's a really appealing style.
And speaking of appealing, James Boone gave a super chat of $4.99, but with no question. But we'll just say thank you, JB.
Well, thank you.
And now, but yeah, I agree with those answers. I mean, I also think it's fair to say that Crisis Core was actually quite excellent.
Oh yeah. You know,
I mean,
I just beat Rebirth last night actually, and I was thinking about taking a peek at the new version of Crisis Core because I did play it back on the PSP, but barely.
This is a case where I kind of feel like it still feels better on the PSP because the visuals match the game design.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, where it still has all the original animation, the sort of the limitations of the PSP game in the new version, but it's with like modern detailed visuals.
Yeah, I do feel
and there's like a weird disconnect there where it just feels a little bit weird to me. I don't know.
I understand what you mean. I feel that way a lot actually, that sometimes and I think this is a problem where people are always like, oh, this new version of the game's got to be higher resolution. Higher resolution is always better.
Yep.
And I feel like you lose so much context for why the graphics were the way they were when you don't have that original resolution. Sometimes that original form factor, you just lose a lot of context for why it's designed the way it is.
Exactly.
Did you see that thing that was going around? There was a whole bunch of talk about these comparisons to like the Persona 4 Golden on PC versus the original PS2 version. There was a lot of people talking about that. And it's true, the atmosphere is very different, which is something I never really realized because I never saw a direct comparison. I played through both versions.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with that too, where there's a sense that games made for a certain level of platform, like unless you make drastic changes to the core game, just upgrading one aspect of it can leave it feeling unbalanced and strange.
Yeah,
and I prefer, Go ahead.
All right, so we finally saved. I think it auto saved. So, I was going to tell you my funny story about
please,
about my original PSP memory card. There was some sort of card reader on that HD Sony CRT I used to have, that 36-inch HD CRT. There was a card reader on it, on the front.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I didn't know what format it was, but I was like, oh, it's a Sony TV. It's probably the memory stick Duo that you put in the PSP. And I like put my memory card in and just like false side. And I never got it out.
Because it was the original memory stick.
Probably.
Not the Pro,
Probably.
not the Duo, which
Okay,
is the
Sam.
smaller one.
It is way too hot for you to be sitting on my lap.
Although speaking of that, that is a familiar problem, I think, for many Mister owners, depending on their case.
Oh, I've kind of had to, sort of like wiggle it sideways and shake out the card. I've had to do that. Hang on a second. I'm going to turn down the air and then we'll pick a new game.
Okie doke. Oh, I see Jeff O there asks, "Hey John, I don't have any money," which is okay. But what does Dark 1X mean? And I'm here to tell you it was literally just like a username from 1997 that was edgy and kind of dumb.
It's just stuck.
But I originally called myself Dark 1. And then when I joined the original Gaming Age forums, that was taken, so I had to make Dark 1X. So I just put an X on.
You are the Dark One.
And I just kept it.
Yeah, obviously the same with me. I mean, it's like it's very much like a teenager.
It's 100% that.
A very teenager-y, like I was like, oh, you know what's funny is like I've never even been into like leet speak and stuff like that. But like I just thought like I was just like, oh, like spelling Triforce all funny with a number 4 would be cool.
As you're starting up the next one, though, we've got one super chat from Green Thumbs, spelled Greene, by the way, who says, "Thanks for the streams." That's for $9.99. Thank you, Mr. Green Thumbs.
I mean,
that rules.
I mean, it's always a fun time, I think.
And then we have Dad 1153 for $5.
Thank you as always.
Who says, "Favorite PSP games: Darkstalkers, Coded Arms 2, Hotshot Golf 1 and 2,
also
Beat
one of my favorites.
Max, both a ton, Namco Museum, and Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles."
Well,
which I think is intended to be Castlevania.
I like the name Castlevania.
I like the name Castlevania.
Yes.
That actually kind of rules.
I enjoy this.
I'm way into
let's
that.
see. Should I just surprise you with what I'm going to pop in next?
Yep. Please.
Yeah, let's.
Whenever I see the XMB though, I just think about the PS3 circa 2006 in the MotorStorm demo. When you would boot up the system, it would automatically select it, and it would just like blast your speakers.
Oh.
And yeah, Blake's right. The XMB first showed up on the PSX.
That's right. Which I have one, and I just need to get the laser in working order. So this is not Namco Museum, but in honor of Dad 1153 mentioning a classic game compilation, I am also going to put a classic game compilation
Castlevania. I do love Castlevania.
which I
Castlevania and Klonoa.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I love Hot Shots Golf 1. I've not played the second one, but that's the first Hot Shots Golf on PSP might be my favorite golf game.
Oh, it's really good. Explosive. That's usually reserved for cheap European software.
What's Explosive?
Oh, I don't know. There's some crappy publisher.
Oh.
But it's Taito. I'm not going to do the game sack joke. Nope.
Well, the MLiG joke is, that first did I show you my Kiwi Craze video?
You did. We watched it.
And like
together.
It starts off with remember Taito.
Remember Taito.
Remember Taito? Oh, hey, look,
I'm looking for an excuse to say remember Taito in a video now.
Remember Taito.
It's going to come up one of these days and surprise you. So get ready.
Remember Taito. Ooh, deluxe games. What are deluxe games?
It's probably
Crazy
remakes.
Balloon 2005, Balloon Bomb 2005, Legend of Kage 2005, Camel Tree 2005. What?
Dude, look at that Legend of Kage though.
I gotta check this out. I have to.
Look at that.
It looks like a thing.
Dude, remember when we played the Darius Burst machine at the arcade in Germany, not here.
Yeah.
That freaking machine, man. I love that machine.
It was
It's an
awesome.
experience when you step inside. Camel 2005.
Yeah, Zane's dad. Taito Legends, like this is different from like there's different games on this than the console Taito Legends.
Right.
But I never got around to booting this up.
Dude, there were so many good like anthology things for the PSP, weren't there?
Yeah.
It looks like it's 60. It's 60 FPS with dithered smoke.
Look at that run cycle.
Actually, that blurry, but is that background blurry or is it just a stream? Like it kind of looks out of focus on the stream. Like they're doing a depth of field effect.
Yeah, I think it is a little blurry. It's a little hard to tell, but what? Whoa. Okay, the controls are a little weird.
That run cycle though, that is first rate.
I mean,
wow.
Legend of Kage is not a game I am whoa, that was quick. Let me give that one more try. It's not a game I'm especially fond of to begin with. But
this does look like a Sega Aegis 2500 PS2 game. That is so funny. Oh my god.
Oh, look at this like sideways climbing.
Oh my god, look at this.
I feel like my clothes are way too short.
I would disagree. Oh. That's so great.
Wow.
This might be the greatest run cycle in the history of video games right here.
It's been a bit since I played the NES or arcade version, so I don't remember for sure if yeah, yikes.
Oof. You know what I was playing today at an arcade?
Mm-hmm.
Jambo Safari.
Oh yeah?
God, I love Jambo Safari.
I don't think I've ever played it.
It's so good.
Okay, I want to look at Camel Tree. I like me some Camel Tree. I actually got the Super Famicom version of Camel Tree not that long ago.
I played the arcade version of somebody saying on the Wii. There is a Wii version, but I played the arcade version of that game. It's man, good old Jambo Safari. Okay, Camel Try. Misengonen.
I wonder if this is like the full game.
Dude, this game's supposed to be played with the spinner. Do they use R&L?
Yeah.
Also, it's like LocoRoco.
Yeah, well, the Super Famicom version is the same too. Or actually, there's a
that makes sense.
There's a US version too. I think it's called On the Ball.
Oh my god, it's like calling Puzzle Bob or whatever Bust a Move.
I mean, I don't mind Bust a Move.
I do. Come on, when they have the box art with like the dude's face and the giant eyes, and it's creepy. This is.
Oh, I just realized that the environments are actually 3D, like because you can see like the.
Oh yeah, it's a polygon model. But you look at this, and I feel like this is setting the groundwork for what would become known as XBLA disease. You know, the visual style that sort of like rose up during the mid 2000s.
Right. Well, and that's
downloadable games.
I mean, I do think a lot of PSP games suffer from that. I mean, you know, we were just talking earlier about how good the PSP version of Final Fantasy IV is. And also I think, you know, 1 and 2 are pretty nice as well. But if you look at them now though, you're like, ooh, that kind of looks like a mobile game. But at the time it looked amazing.
It was higher res, but it's still not far off from 240p, right? It's 272p and it's widescreen. But that's literally.
But it's still just like that really sharp and that really clean look, though.
Yeah, no,
Like
I know
there,
what you mean.
some stuff in this generation on, especially on PSP and DS and like you said, Xbox Live
Yes,
Arcade.
yes.
Like they did start. That was the beginnings of what became like the stereotypical mobile look, which, you know,
It's true.
I don't think it's not necessarily fair to judge some of those games in retrospect,
Right.
based on that, but it's they've aged a little weirdly sometimes maybe.
But hey, Camel Triforce Guttleson, 2005. Yeah, this is a.
Well,
I hope one of the UMDs you pulled out though is one of the pretty games.
I don't have it, and you know I don't have it. I almost bought it. Like I feel like only a few weeks ago.
Man,
and
I
can't
can't
remember why. I can't remember why I didn't.
They're tough, but they're really, really fun.
All right, let's see what's in the normal game select on this, because I want to see what some of the emulated.
Well, we
games
got a
actually
super chat
look
from Abyssisness for $1.99.
Abyssisness.
$1.99.
That's a fun
Thank you,
name. Thank you.
Abyssisness. Has always played my PSP on my restroom breaks. LMAO. Roflameo.
That's how you take a real piss.
I think that's great. That's the way to do it. God, I love that name. Crazy Balloon, man. What a name.
Well, I want to play Kiki Kai Kai.
Rust on Saga is my favorite on here.
Oh.
I love Rust on Saga.
Is that just Raston or
Raston? Yeah.
Okay, so it's not
the first game.
Okay.
It's not that second game. The third game I like. Third game is good.
It has Tate.
What? Holy! Whoa!
Like, how would you even play that?
Oh, I have Star Soldier for PSP, which plays like that. And it actually shows on the back of the box how you're supposed to hold the PSP.
Oh, L is credit. Okay.
Well, since Joe's not here, I gotta say Tate mode.
Tate mode. Hey, I want to get up and eyeball these pixels here.
Okay, he's up, ladies and gentlemen. Pixels are being eyeballed.
It's fairly clean. I mean, PSP video output is pretty poor.
Yeah, it's weirdly poor.
But I think the nature of most PSP visuals masks the sampling errors that.
Yeah.
If you're going for optimized sampling on the RetroTink, it's the issues are mostly masked pretty well, I would say. So. Whoops.
Yeah. Tate. Do you prefer Tate or Yoko?
Almost always Yoko.
Okay.
I mean, Tate is cool, but
you're a Yoko man.
Yeah, I'm not going to make the effort for Tate. I'm just not.
There's a bunch of Tate games on this system. It's just really awkward to hold it.
All right, well, let's try something else. You know, you mentioned something earlier, and I almost popped it in because you mentioned it, but I didn't want to do two racing games in a row.
Mm.
So let's pop in. Yes, I've never booted this.
Okay.
Brand new experiences here today.
Here we go. Let us find out together.
What will it be? You know, I really feel like just the feel of pushing PSP face buttons and R&L buttons is just like maybe the best, perhaps the best feeling, just button push feel of anything, maybe.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
I don't know what
Oh,
it is.
MotorStorm.
Yeah, you said that is it just the demo or the actual game that has the super loud?
That's MotorStorm PS3 that has that.
Okay.
But MotorStorm PSP came out quite a bit later, and it's actually, I think this game is remarkably impressive, considering the platform.
The super loud big studios that had some katakana there. Is that a Japanese studio on the big studios
on
logo?
big? I think they just did it for style.
Yeah. Oh look at this real video.
We got somebody who's entered the room.
Oh.
What's up, y'all?
The party can start now.
Here, dude. I might need to. Does Corey have his webcam on? I don't see it.
He does.
Okay, I need to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
He's also got the party machine.
Watch this.
Oh, man. You guys enjoying some of that PlayStation?
We are.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I need to order a party machine.
You better do it quick, buddy.
Oh, look at that. I'm like there, seeing double. Whoa.
Oh, you're gonna do that, huh? You want to do it like that?
Yeah. Richard Ledbetter.
Dude, they just dropped that guy in that shipping crate. It would have killed him. Probably would have died. Yeah, enjoying some of that PlayStation.
The PlayStation. Oh, we got a super chat from Sis with like $20.
I know it.
I think we need Corey to read this with the party machine.
Oh, I know what he needs. Gotta make sure. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let me see if I can make this happen. I hope that it works.
I can hear it.
Oh, a big one!
There we go. There we go.
That's what I needed.
By the way, Falcom was totally on Fuego on the PSP. This is true.
All right, I'm gonna put it up the party machine before people think they just want to leave. They're just sick of it.
The PlayStation.
Just welcome. Enjoy some of that PlayStation. All right.
All right, I should be switched over now.
Okay, you're normal again.
Now I'm normal.
Try just getting into the hot action here.
All right, we've got festival.
All right,
Like,
let me. Are my levels good? How do I sound now? Do I sound? Do I
Forza
sound
Sounds good
like,
to me.
like I'm boxed in or anything like that, or does it sound pretty good?
I like the somebody says crazy how the party machine wasn't even plugged in. Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
You sound good, I think.
controls.
Okay, hey, that's good. That's
Accelerate,
okay.
brake,
So I like to hear.
boost. Okay.
Sorry, I had to go to my kids' track meet tonight.
So how was that the track meet? What's up there, Chief?
What's up there, Chief? It was good. It was good. There's another one next week's, and that one I'm on my own because my wife has like a fundraiser that night as well. So I won't make an appearance in that one, at least that I know of.
Well,
No.
you are here now, and we are playing MotorStorm, and I want to hear, what do you think, Try?
It looks pretty cool. Do you know how I
need you to crash though, because it's all about the crashes.
Oh, look at that lens flare. That's great. That's great lens flare.
Yes.
I in that first one, the crashes are so good.
Well,
just
I'm
like
not.
just how far
I
the
don't
person
know why
flies.
these other
What do you-
characters are on bikes and I'm not. The
Oh,
suspension on my vehicle looks really good though.
For the, I think these initial races, it's more limited, but eventually you start to gain choices between different vehicle types.
Do you know how I earn boost?
Oh no, you don't earn boost. You can use it any time.
Oh, it's a
It's a heat meter.
It's a heat meter. Gotcha.
So-
it's doing some excite bike.
Right.
You know,
We
when I
got
was- when I was
$1.99
working
from
on
Josh
that,
Alnick. He's saying all night long.
When I was working on that
Baby.
Final
All
Fantasy
night.
14 video, I was really tempted to describe the graph at times as either a good excite bike track or a boring excite bike track. But
Well, the crash
I
looks
see.
good, but you got to be on a motorcycle to
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
oh man, that lens
Nah, the
flare,
mo-
that
the
is
motorcycle-
a really good lens flare.
I'm
Yeah.
not really concerned if it's good or not. The crashes are better though when your guy just goes flying.
Yeah. I would say though
definitely
that
dying every time.
the crashes in the PSP game are definitely not as nicely done as PS3, which I think is just a function of lack of power.
Yeah.
You know, they're able to do more complex animations and physics stuff on PS3. But this is pretty nuts for a 2004 handheld system. It's a great looking game, I think.
Yeah.
Speaking of PS3,
It's a triple.
I was that.
You're not talking about that Wii.
No, I'm not talking about that Wii. I'm talking about Immortals of Avium, which was free on PS Plus, and I briefly tried it. I'm like, man, this has some real PS3 energy.
Dude, doesn't it? It has the most PS3 energy.
I mean,
Like, oh my gosh.
partly that's the frame rate,
Yeah.
but it's man, I was kind of expecting. I mean, I knew that it didn't really. It didn't really hit in the way that was maybe hoped for, but it was
No.
like actually booting up. I'm like, ooh, this is not doing anything for me.
To be fair, the game ends up looking pretty good after a couple levels. It's just the beginning stuff it makes a really bad first impression.
Yeah.
Enough for people to just check out immediately, probably.
No, I think they completely messed up with the introduction stuff to that game. Like, it absolutely kills it.
Yeah.
It gets to be okay eventually,
Yeah.
but yeah, that introduction is rough.
You want to know what it is awesome on the PS3 though? House of the Dead 4 with the PlayStation Move sharpshooter.
Oh,
Dude, it is so good. It is so much fun. It is so much fun that I scoured the PlayStation 3 store for any other gun games that I could play with that, like rail shooter gun games. And I ended up getting something called like Heavy Fire, like the double pack Heavy Fire Afghanistan and like
It sounds like a banger.
I haven't played it yet.
That
I just
like
really want-
striped yellow and black here is making me feel like we're getting ready to play some Buck Bumble or something.
Yeah.
Bump to the bum to the bumble.
Oh look, I can be this
Right about now, it's time
Big
to
ol'
bit with the biggity buck bumble.
Yeah, see,
Corey,
I
you should probably check the Streamlab list to make sure we didn't overlook anyone like someone like Cade the Squirrel who often does
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll jump in
non-super
there.
chat. Make sure we didn't miss anything before you got here because we didn't really have the means to keep tabs on that without you.
We did have enchilada backloggery for $5. We didn't read that one yet, did we?
Yeah, I
We
think
have
there's one
not
before that too.
Enchilada assisted
also,
me greatly with the FF.
Oh yeah, first there's Dad 1153 for $2. I rate
He's
this
asking for a C.
Steam so far a C for chicken.
Is he asking for one of these?
And
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Delicious.
chicken.
And then we've got enchilada backloggery. The PSP a fun system. but not so great graphics, which makes it all the fun. I'm not sure I agree with not so great graphics, though. I think it looks pretty good. Make sure not to crash out too hard. All boring Excite Bike track.
I think I'm on the same level as before. I don't know why.
And then we got Triftin' 1 for $19.99. Sick stream, bro. Deep knowledge. Just hit up the Detroit Retro Game Show and picked up no PSP stuff, but nabbed some Layton and Kirby DS titles.
Ooh.
Hoshino Kabi is an excellent series.
I see that 1999, I immediately think,
Oh, a big one.
and any iterations over. If I could make
God,
that
man.
a like on the Streamlabs, if I could set it so that anything that's like
You probably can.
$20, like almost like
Automatic?
over,
I think you
like
can.
over $10, it could be a big one.
Oh man, Metal Slug has the best like voiceover lines.
Well, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not.
Well, no,
that's not Metal Slug.
that's like a that's
Metal
like a
Slug
bastard
is
chick.
big.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Oh, big.
Yeah, we
Oh,
have
that's Sega Bass Fishing.
we have Whoa Big on the Backloggery stream.
Or Get Bass, as
Yeah.
they call it.
Yeah.
Get Bass.
Man, I love those lines.
Oh,
Man,
my
my
Death Star
uncle
Pirates would
played
work with the
Get
sharpshooter,
Bass
wouldn't
all
it?
the
Yes.
time.
So I haven't played Death Star Pirates with the sharpshooter. I can't see why it wouldn't. You know, I'm
should
sure it
work.
works with. Excuse me. It works with Time
That's the
Crisis
Dead
4
Overkill.
and Time Crisis. What is it called? What's the Time Crisis? The other Time Crisis game that's on that 3-pack.
Raising Storm.
Yeah, I bet you can pull back the thing to like crouch in the cover. I mean, that's what it's all about. Is like with House of Dead, it's just very satisfying to be able to like cock the sword, go, or not cock not cock the not the sword. That's the sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter. The sword.
I don't know why I said the sword.
Is
Cock the
is
sword,
House of the
baby.
Dead 4 rare or expensive? 'Cause I don't think I have it.
It's digital only.
Oh.
Yeah. And,
I just
well,
went for it.
it's not entirely true, Corey. You could always purchase the arcade machine.
It's true.
It's true.
Just saying.
It's the only. What? I hit a tiny little barrel and I crashed? Come on.
There was $10 from T-Soul saying, you recall you could turn many PS1 games into e-boot and play them on a modded PSP.
Oh heck yeah, absolutely. In fact, the PSP Go turned out to be one of the best. It's like it really. So the Nomad obviously has concepts of the Nintendo Switch, but the PSP Go actually simulates the Nintendo Switch experience, right?
Yeah.
It has a dock. You can pair a wireless controller with it.
Yeah.
And doing that with PS1 stuff is awesome because then you actually get the native 240p output.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can with with just using the PSP out too, but I mean, it's not.
No. I know. It's just I like that freaking dock.
Yeah. Paul Sutton, member for 38 months, asking, prefer House of the Dead 4 to Overkill, and I personally do.
I've not played for
Overkill
but
is very funny.
Overkill is
And it's
very
like over the
funny.
top and extreme, but it does. You know, I feel like the older ones. I just like the. It's almost like it's trying to be serious in a way,
Yeah,
and I like Overkill is definitely like we're just gonna be stupid.
all
From
the
the
way
get-go.
stupid. Yep.
All right,
But
here's
you know, especially
another
like House of
one.
Dead 3.
Well-
Like I feel like they are definitely playing it kind of straight in that, or trying.
They try. I mean, they've always tried. I mean, even the Welcome Friends
Yeah,
encounter Goldman.
yeah,
I think they're actually trying to be like they're playing it somewhat straight,
right.
but yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah. But personally, I do. I just like the machine gun, though. Like having the machine gun in House of Dead 4 really works in its favor, I think.
HOTD.
Although, like, you know, even with the shotgun in 3, like being able to use the sharpshooter with that is cool too. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to do a video on all kinds of playing whatever games with a sharpshooter. Like,
Dude, you
can
should
play
do a
it.
sharpshooter. I would love to see a sharpshooter video that actually shows the benefits of using it. 'Cause I do have one, but I haven't used it that much. I think the one that I have came with GoldenEye.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's any true benefit to actually use it. It makes you feel
Better.
real, like really tough, like a badass.
Oh. Oh yes, it's I remember. I have memories of playing this on a plane back from Tokyo. Like
Is this
the whole
Touch My
ride.
Katamari? That was
No,
called? No, that's the one that's on.
That was
on-
it's on Vita.
Touch My
Yeah.
Katamari is Vita. There's no touching
there's
on
no touch on this.
PSP.
I know. I know.
Touche pas les PSP.
This is me and My Katamari.
Me and My Katamari.
I've again.
yeah.
This is one I've also never booted. This is not entirely, but for the most part, a PSP games I've never booted stream.
That's not bad.
All right, let's skip this intro. Is entertaining. As
Are you gonna be playing Secret Agent Clank? You have Secret Agent Clank.
It is, but I was actually more inclined to try because I think I might have tried that before. Look at this. This also is doing that strobing thing on the ocean here. I feel like it's some sort of dither or something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm kind of more inclined to try the Ratchet and Clank Size Matters because I've never tried that.
Oh yeah.
And that's like that's like trying to be like a normal Ratchet and Clank game, isn't it?
I believe so.
And you have that or no?
I have it, yeah.
Okay.
But I've never booted it. We
So
might
I
even
played through that one.
we might even be unsealing some PSP games tonight.
Oh,
which
wow.
would be fun. There's a couple of sealed games on my file here.
That's
boy.
something that John and I were talking when we were out the other day about. Like, it'd be kind of fun to do a video on PSP to PS2 ports because there's so many games that got ported from the PSP to the PS2. And like
Right.
Clank.
Exactly. I was thinking about that.
And that really came up because we saw the 2 Siphon Filter games.
Yep. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's Silent Hill games as well.
Yeah.
Henry
Origins.
Clark, it's a PSP 3000 connected to the RetroTink 4K. Only playing UMDs, doing it legit.
Oh, heck yeah.
Genova Vienna, $2. Thank you. Saying, could you all, play Midway Arcade Treasures Extended? And I doubt that Try has that, but I almost bought it the other day.
What?
The Midway Arcade Treasures Extended. It's like just a single PSP version, the Midway Arcade Treasure games. I'd never seen it before until the other day. I knew it existed, but I never.
I freaking love that when the camera obscures your character and they just have the little kanji there.
Mhm.
Tamashi. That's really that's cute.
Oh, Siphon Filter Dark Mirror got heavily censored in its port from PSP to PS2. Wow.
Uh-oh. Where was the censorship brigade back then?
I don't know. Maybe I think they put tights on Logan.
Shit.
In the PS2 version.
Oh man. But that's like, that's part of the fun, especially with the Logan
They
run,
censored
right?
Logan's bunny suit.
Oh.
I heard. I don't know. It was kind of crazy.
Man, I want to... Logan's run is legendary, though.
The movie?
No.
Oh, you mean... well, Logan's Run is a movie, but you mean his, like...
No, I know, but I'm talking about
but-
the real Logan's run.
Yeah,
Gabe Logan's actual run cycle.
Yeah, it's like... He's like wagging that butt around, like pretty...
That's what he do.
You know?
I mean, it was a good era for that. Like Solid Snake and MGS2 as well. Man. Look at that. Have you guys ever held the PSP Street model?
No, you know, someone was gonna sell me one, and we just kept putting off like working it out. That I just kept forgetting about it, and it just never happened. But I wanted to get one so that I could like cover like every PS, because I have every PSP model other than that. Or a representative of each.
It's very weird with its matte finish and just it's strange.
I bet that'd be kind of nice though, like a matte finish PSP.
I think it doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Or video out maybe. Like they cut features on it.
Right. It's kind of the Wii Mini of the PSP.
It's not that. It's not as bad as the Wii Mini, but it's not the best.
It's Europe exclusive, right?
Yeah. I see him around. If you ever want one, I can grab one.
Yeah, I should. I probably should have grabbed one just to have it.
I'm gonna go find a charging cable because I'm using my phone here and it's down to 6% battery.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go find a USB-C cable.
Yep. In the meantime, I will. Congratulate Master Safer for 12 months of being a member.
Oh,
thank you.
Wow.
Saying, try you're not playing PSP UMDs legit unless you launch the game out of the system when you hit the open/eject button. Launching them. Let's launch over it. And $10 from Eric Benoit. Thank you. Saying, is there a premium non-Sony component cable for PSP? My Retrode 4K5X has trouble picking up the signal.
Really?
Oh, from a premium non-Sony?
I mean, because that's what I'm using.
I don't think so.
And I haven't had trouble. Have you tried like, there's different like video output modes, and I think that there's limitations on. There's like limitations on one of the models in terms of look how smooth this world map is.
That's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know if there's other ones. I know if worst comes to worst, you could always try. I know that there was a level height cable or maybe a pound cable that was that is like a PSP out to HDMI. You could always try that. I mean, one would hope it's just like.
What are y'all talking about? Besides Shaft.
Eric Benoit was asking about if there's like a non-official component cable. I don't recall coming across anything like that. But like I want to say the PSP 2000 has some weird limitations, like it can only do, is it only 480p or only 480i? Like it might only be 480p if you're using component cables, or maybe it can't do 480p at all. I forget. There's definitely some kind of limitation on PSP 2000, so it might depend on what kind of PSP you're using. But yeah, that's weird.
Everyone's like, John collects war suits? I did not know. John, you have a World War I suit, John?
I do. I've got more stuff down here.
There's a uniform on the other side.
Oh yeah, lots of goodies in here. What's over here?
So you have the machine guns in there?
Where's it at?
There's there's like the cannons.
It's interesting in here.
PSP 2000 is 480p only for PSP games.
Is that a Hue card? I feel like that's a Hue card. It's like straight up TurboGrafx, a really blurry
that looks like,
TurboGrafx game.
No, it's a Sega My Card.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that's like Alien Crush or something.
Okay.
No, it might actually be a Hue card. Woo! What a game!
Yeah.
It was cool having this on the portable.
He has a ton of collectible war stuff here that he keeps in the U.S.
Yes.
In his other house.
In my other house.
You know, it's funny when.
Can you fix my view on the stream? By the way, I had to change the position of my phone, and it's like John looking like I'm talking to my mom on FaceTime.
It's like it's like John don't know Jack, right there.
Oh my god!
Isn't that what it is? At the top of the head, or is it the bottom of the head on the "You Don't Know Jack"?
I think it is
games.
that. Okay, I'm sitting forward now. There you go.
There we go.
John don't know Jack.
Well, you know, it's funny when you come to the U.S., people are like, "Oh, well, welcome to my country, John. I hope you have a good time." And like, it's so funny how many
Like
people
this.
don't realize that like when you come here, you're visiting family. You are from here. You sound like you're from here, and you are.
Y'all better behave.
He's gonna.
No, this is a deactivated. This is not a live firing weapon, but it is a neat thing to see.
Oh my god, another Hue card.
You know what I bought when I was buying a bunch of Move gun games? I finally got.
Were you buying
Fast Draw Showdown?
a hand grenade?
No.
I have one here. So
Look at that. It's deactivated, right? I mean, could you pull the pin on it? I'm gonna go. Blink.
It does not go boom.
Oh yeah.
It does not go boom.
Have you ever tested this theory?
Yes.
You see all those cassette tapes that Tritus picked up. The other day, I helped John digitize some of his his childhood audio cassettes that he recorded with his sister.
Oh.
Yep. That was amazing, actually, to do that.
Did you ever find your animation video?
No, I couldn't find that or a bunch of other stuff I was looking for. It's I was also looking for besides some other cassette tapes. I couldn't find my old cassette tape collection. I was also trying to find my old Packard Bell monitor and the matching mouse and keyboard. I have the computer, but none of the rest. That was all at my sister's house, including the animation tape. And I don't know where it is. But yeah, that would have been great. I also had a complete set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. The ones that come with the gum stick.
Oh. You still have the gum sticks, you think?
No. I probably do not. But yeah. So for those curious, let's just say my dad collects military history objects similar to how we collect video games.
Yeah.
So I sort of followed in those footsteps, so to speak.
Yeah.
He's
And
a collector of something.
And John's dad, I gave him a bunch of my grandparents' stuff.
Yeah, he's going to do some research and sort of dig in and get some more information on your grandfather and your grandparents.
Oh wow!
Because your grandfather fought in World War II, which is cool. He had a Purple Heart.
Yeah. My grandpa did too.
That's great.
Is all that stuff at your parents' house?
I mean, I know, I'm not sure exactly. I know my dad has like a ceremonial sword.
Oh wow.
of some kind that was related to that. How do I save? Is this saving? No. Oh, I can,
Man, that world map is smooth.
it is, isn't it? Looks great.
I feel like everything Namco did on the PSP was top notch and polished. They were really good on that system.
Yeah, this is a good version of Katamari. I'm impressed so far.
There's $5 from Paul Sutton asking, first off, thank you, saying any benefits of keeping a PSP Go docked versus using the PS TV on an HD TV.
I mean, there
Just that
can definitely
240p
be
output,
some
really.
there can definitely be some lag issues with. But I did some tests a few months ago, and I forget the exact results. Like the lag on PS TV isn't. Well, I didn't actually measure what the lag is, but I measured the difference in certain scenarios. Like for some reason, specifically using a DualShock 4. Everyone says that DualShock 3 is less lag on PS TV than DualShock 4, which is, from what I could tell, kind of true, but it also varied depending on what you were doing. Like for some reason, if you're using a DualShock 4 in the what's it called? What's the hacked
Adrenaline?
Adrenaline. If you're using a DualShock 4 in Adrenaline, the lag is like real bad. But it's inconclusive from what I tested, but it seemed like DualShock 3 lag might be the same in Adrenaline and out of Adrenaline. So,
Though I feel like Sony really missed a trick with. They never had a controller that had both the DualShock button and the speaker at the same time. Because I really wanted to get to a point where you press the DualShock engage button and it just goes like boom shakalaka.
DualShock engage button.
That little recessed button on the DualShock 1 and 2.
PS1, PS2. Yes.
The analog button?
Yeah, the analog button, yes. It's basically like the game controller equivalent to bring it back to last week of Wooks.
That's backwards.
Or Mega Bass.
Want to say dual shakalaka? Jeff was saying it would say dual shakalaka.
Dual shakalaka.
Every time you pressed it.
Dual shakalaka.
All right, this is a game that I have zero knowledge of what the gameplay even is. It was just like it was $10.
This is Archer McLean's Mercury.
It was $10, and it's in a series that I really, really like. So,
what is it like? Mercury? Is that like the ball and or like the puddle or something like that?
Yeah, it's like the little bit of Mercury that you navigate through mazes.
Yeah,
that's
created by Archer McLean
too, though, isn't it? It's Saru get you.
Oh, look at that Alvion logo. That is
Saru,
like
Saru get you. Saru.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea what kind of game this is.
One of the things I saw when I was looking for move stuff is there's like a exclusive Ape Escape move game. I wonder if it's any good.
Oh, that right. Is it like Ape Escape on the move or something?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. It says it's the next chapter of the Ape Escape saga.
Whoops.
Huh?
That's what it said. It's like the next entry in the Ape Escape saga.
Ooh, the saga. Oh, look at all these different...
I think it was so...
Oh,
Paul Sutton has I have like 24
right?
copies of Mercury Meltdown 2-pack.
Oh,
And they're all in your fridge.
I'm having trouble keeping my phone standing up here.
While it's charging.
Yeah.
Can you flip it upside down? And it would like... Well, that's going to be upside down, I guess. But try it like...
Yeah, exactly.
Camera.
Win games to earn circles.
Why is it...
There's also
Oh.
on the loose on Ape Escape on the loose is the remake.
Oh,
of the
now he
first
needs
one, right?
Now he needs to adjust the camera Oh, sorry, try. Oh, the third birthday. That is a good looking game. Have you guys actually played the Ape Escape release on PSP?
You mean the remake, right?
Is it on the loose?
Yeah, yeah. It's like it really
Yeah,
is
that came
basically
to
a remake.
I've always avoided
not,
it just
it did
because
not.
the idea of playing, you know, a mainline Ape Escape game without dual analog just doesn't sound very appealing.
I know it doesn't sound appealing, but it's actually awesome.
Yeah?
It's really, really good. It's really good. And it also is, I mean, it really is a full remake of the original. It looks
Did that
amazing.
get ported to? Was that a PSP to?
Nope, did not get a port.
Okay.
Only in PSP.
So this is some sort of mini game type thing.
I've never played this.
Yeah, I figured it was something like this, but I honestly had no idea what it was.
They won't bring Ape Escape back because it wouldn't work as a big cinematic production.
Yep.
There's no sad dads in Ape Escape.
No, the dads contained within are in fact not sad.
So they may as well just throw it out.
They could make a sad ape dad. They could make them all look like normal apes, like from Ape Escape series, but then have like a photorealistic looking ape that's like really sad.
I mean, this like
Motion captured
this
by
superhero
Andy
dad
Serkis.
could be masking
Son, I
his
am
sadness
disappointed.
here.
You know, you're pretty darn good. Now, on to the next
Oh my gosh.
Now I'm gonna get tough on you.
This came out on PS Plus Retro Game Classics. You know,
Dude, imagine though. So go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna just talk about PS Plus.
Oh no, it's this Joseph Childs mentioned the idea of a gritty reboot of Ape Escape, and I'm thinking about it.
Like what it
Thinking
would
about
take.
them beans. Harambe, dude, Harambe and Ape Escape. The mission is to bring Harambe back.
And
Oh, wait,
Oh, what the?
it's gonna be a. Yeah. So this is the Parappa section.
It got silent there for a second because that's how I feel about this game.
Yeah. John, you want to say what? Let everybody know what games you got the other day, or did you already talk about that?
Oh, I didn't talk about that yet. Let's see here. We were at Arcade Legacy. Picked up a couple things. Oh, dang it. Don't fall over, phone. Stay up. I picked up Polestar for the Neo Geo CD. The CD-ROM version of the Neo Geo. For the CD-Z system.
With the 2x.
Yes.
Speed, right?
Or at least
Speed
much faster drive. It certainly loads quicker. That's a really cool game. I'm a big fan of Polestar. And yeah, saw it there for a good price. Picked that up. I also got, let me think here. I did pick up Popoito no Hebereke, which is for the Sega Saturn, which is another Hebereke game, puzzle game that I cover in my Sunsoft video. But I saw it for cheap, and it's like, oh, I need to get this.
Yeah, just to have it.
And then I also picked up the Japanese Mega Drive version of Light Crusader from Treasure, because I do have a US version in the cardboard box, but I wanted to complete my Treasure collection. Yeah, just to have
wow.
every version of.
Madness.
Whoa, that's not good. Treasure games.
What?
I knocked
That
it
was-
into my own goal twice.
Dry has never played air hockey.
That's
I mean,
great
it
though,
actually-
because that actually fits with. Richard often uses the phrase "own goal" to talk about somebody doing something bad to themselves.
Oh, okay.
He committed an own goal.
They committed an own goal.
Yeah. No, man, I think Light Crusader is a
Oh,
lot more
it's
enjoyable
Jengenpop.
than Landstalker.
What do you think is better than Landstalker?
Yeah, I don't love Landstalker. It's really constrained and just I don't know. I never really worked for me that well. I think Light Crusader plays a lot better and has a much better atmosphere.
I didn't realize they were that similar.
They're not really that similar.
They
Like
just
somebody just compared them. But
yeah.
Light Crusader is more. It's not exactly like it, but as people kind of note, it does bear similarities to what Diablo would be. But it came out before Diablo.
Oh no, memory testing.
You got Diablo 4 for $20.
You probably see enough.
That's
of this.
right, Diablo. I forgot about that. I got Diablo 4. It
Diablo.
was $20. I figured I can play some Diablo.
Yeah.
Play that Diablo. What else did I get? Ooh, I'm kind of blanking right now.
We need to make a trip. I think on Tuesday will be like our last chance to really hang out, and I think we should try to go down to nostalgic video games down in Florence.
Okay, I'm all for it, dude. I'm currently searching for purchases that I may have made. Let's see here. Oh, did my video freeze when I do this?
Yes.
That's annoying.
We got $2 for
Totally.
Rally Lancer. Thank you. Saying Ape Escape to the plot of Apocalypse Now.
All right, check this out. We're unsealing a PSP game from its shrink wrap tube.
Oh, is that Ratchet?
This is Ratchet. This is Ratchet and Clank Size Matters.
Ratchet and Crank.
Oh, A14. Wait, did we read? So first of all, there's Rally Lancer for $2.
Oh, yeah.
Super chat. Did we read that?
I did. I said, yeah.
I was fiddling with my phone. So what about the second one, A14?
No, but I see that one and I immediately think,
Oh, a big one.
There you go. But he says, "Do you think a
smell
platform?"
like opening cartridges used to? You know?
No, it doesn't. Though I think PSP games usually had a smell.
yeah, like chemicals.
Yeah, there's no smell to this
Yeah.
at all, actually.
It's gone.
Wow, this is a really thick manual. I mean, the game's title is Size Matters.
There's 20 reals from
Holy
A14.
crap! This is like
Oh, did you
this is
either
a
read it or you
huge
just?
manual, and it's like
I-
only English.
I was trying to read it, but
Okay, sorry.
Try was in awe of the manual.
This is the biggest manual ever for a handheld game that's non-RPG, and only one language. So this actually says not for resale on the back. So this must have been a pack-in that I bought. So let's check this out. Let's see.
All right. So first, let me read from A14. Do you think a platform game like DKC without levels would work? Think of Donkey Kong Country fully connected like a Metroidvania, but as a 2D platformer, which they usually are. What do you think? Try DKC Metroidvania.
I'm sure it's been done, but I can't think of examples. Like the thing that makes that kind of, well, probably the closest thing would be something like the Wonder Boy series, because like if you think of something like the Egavanias, right?
Right.
They don't have platforming challenges per se, because there's no bottomless pits. Everything is connected, right?
So,
like the platforming
yeah.
itself is very low stakes, and it's all about the combat and RPG mechanics in terms of, the difficulty curve. Whereas Wonder Boy, Wonder Boy does have that Metroid-like level design, but and I don't know why this game's not loading. It's a little alarming.
It's brand new.
It's brand new. Well, that's why it's alarming, because it'd be my PSP. Let's try again.
So to continue, though, I would say that the main issue is that DKC levels are based on challenges that you can't really go backwards on. like with the barrel stuff and the way you
True.
platform around. Like if you were trying to go, you can go in one direction, but if you try to go left and back through the level, it wouldn't really work that well. So they have to fundamentally
in
alter.
theory design the levels that way, I guess, but it would be more
But-
more difficult from a design.
It would be difficult and possibly less interesting.
Yeah. But like Wonder Boy does have like the pits where they just have like the little skulls that come out of the pits. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's like a cloud of skulls. It's like this is bad. So like you
Murray, the
can
demonic
design
skull.
platforming challenges in a interconnected world. But yeah, like DKC is all about that forward momentum. So
Hey, it's loading.
yeah. Hopefully my
UMD drive died on my PSP 2000, so I just used my.
Wait, it actually died?
Well, it just like can't read anything. It kind of clicks.
Dang.
But my 3000's fine. I got a cheap 3000. At the time. This one's not amazing. I think I bought this one and played it on. I bought it digitally at first.
Yeah.
So I could play it on the Vita with twin sticks, and that worked pretty well.
Man, my UMD drive is not sounding great all of a sudden.
It's like I don't know how to read something that's never been read before.
Like, what is this strange thing?
Yeah, it's so easy and scary.
Like whoa.
Oh.
I mean, I put it right up to the mic, but that
it's
actually
That doesn't. It sounds unhealthy.
you better hack that so you can just put all the games you own on there digitally. The PSP is like the easiest thing to hack. That's why I hacked all mine because it's so easy.
Whoa.
And you can just put the disk images of everything you own on there.
That sounds normal enough.
well, now it does. But like it was making a horrible sound and I popped it open and then closed it again.
Okay, that's weird.
Oh, interesting. So oh, interesting. Okay. So like if you use the stick, you move forward and backwards and turn. But if you move with the D-pad,
You strafe.
You strafe, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's actually, yeah, this actually, I mean, just from a basic controls perspective, this kind of works, actually.
It's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of it, but it's actually pretty good.
DS definitely had issues with the slot dying, though. I've seen that happen.
What has issues?
Really?
Yeah.
I never even heard.
I had a DS once where it just like you'd put anything in the slot, it just wouldn't see it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sandy is like begging for you to give her some pets there. She's like
I
literally like
know.
inches away, saying,
look at that PSP.
"I'm here."
Yeah. Well, she was like, at the beginning of the stream, like she had to sit on my lap. Like she just was not having anything to do with not being on my lap.
Oh, look at Sandy in the corner there. That's so cute. I'm not seeing Nelly Bean though.
I gotta go get her. She knows I wasn't happy with her.
Have you ever played this one?
You were
John?
not happy with her?
I was not happy with her there.
I never played
in the house and like like not on the P pad.
Oh no.
And I think it's because she was just like, because I didn't give her like any like part of like what I ate for dinner when I got home, and it's not something she could have had. But she just like looks and she's like was getting annoyed that I was not giving her anything, and then she like ran into the other room And I thought that she used the pee pad, but she didn't. She peed like a foot away from it.
At first, I thought you were talking about the D-pad.
No, the pee pad.
And I thought you were saying you didn't use the D-pad playing this game.
Yeah, I mean she's so little. She's got this tiny little bladder, and we can't always take her out.
Size of a thimble.
We have pee pads around the house, and she's usually pretty good about using them if she needs to, right? But I think that she was just in that moment was angry with me.
So you're saying it was a vengeful pee.
Yeah, well, I said I'm not happy with you, and she was just I don't know. She kind of just stared at me and was. I think that she knew that I was not.
I mean, Sandy definitely knows that if something is on the ground that shouldn't be there, it's uh-oh. Like the other day, she was standing really close to me and was getting far. There was not walking in a certain spot, and I was like, what has gotten into you? And she was worried because this clump of grass, I guess, had gotten on her and fell off, and there was this big clump of grass on the floor, and she saw that and was like, oh crap. Something fell out and I didn't mean for it. And she was she thought she had done something wrong.
By the way, Tri, speaking of this game, are you familiar with the Japanese version, which actually received the number 5?
Oh, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, it's Ratchet and Clank 5, it's called.
Wow.
Interesting. So does that mean that Deadlock was 4?
Yes, I would say so.
Wait, what was 4?
Deadlocked. The that last PS2 one.
Which I mean is a lot better than I thought it would be, to be honest.
Well, it's all combat, right? It's just all arena combat type things, which is cool.
Yeah, that was I'm a little bummed out that the cycle failed us. Where Naughty Dog especially, they had 3 Crash games, then Crash Team Racing, then 3 Jack games, then Jack X Combat Racing, then 3 Uncharted games, and then a 4th Uncharted game, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Where's the Nathan Drake kart racer?
Yeah.
Or weird genre, or the Nathan Drake Tetris clone.
That's what it should have been.
Well, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think the games Naughty Dog's become known for these cinematic action shooters, and don't get me wrong, they're really cool. But part of me is a little sad to not see Naughty Dog do something sort of cartoonish again.
I'm with you.
But we don't even know what their next thing's gonna be. Maybe.
Oh, it's true. The Uncharted card game for Vita. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Well, the Uncharted card. What?
There was some Uncharted card game made for the Vita.
Oh, the card game. It's like a bonus mode in Golden Abyss, which I thought was very good.
I thought there was actually a standalone one, maybe. Let me see.
I thought it was an app that goes with it.
You're possibly right.
Golden Abyss.
It's called Fight for Fortune.
Yeah. There was a standalone version, but was it?
Yep. There was a standalone version.
But was it free, and you just bought different booster packs or something, probably?
Let's see here.
I don't know.
So
I think this is actually surprisingly solid so far, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good game. I've played all the way.
Well, I thought you said it wasn't great.
I mean, it's not great, but it's it's good enough to finish, and it's good.
Oh, I think it's a solid little game from what I've played. I think it's not quite. I've never finished this one either, but it's definitely. I think it plays perfectly fine, and it has a nice feel to it. Yeah. And it would have been. I did not get this initially when it came out, but should have been pretty cool to experience that on a PSP at the time.
Yeah. Are you gonna play Daxter now?
Should I?
Daxter is excellent. Daxter's
Yeah.
You like that a lot.
You
don't have to
did
play-
Bring Daxter down. This was one of the few games that I brought down that I have booted before. Oh, this one is sealed.
Daxter.
Okay, I take that back. I haven't booted this before. I think you know what? I tried Daxter.
Chapter?
I tried Daxter on PPSSPP
Oh, okay.
when I needed to record something from that one time. We are unsealing Daxter.
You gonna play Jackster?
Jackster. Jacking off with Daxter.
UMD was loose.
There's
Just
a,
like, oh wait.
there's a UMD loose.
So you lose. Have you ever had a UMD case crack?
No.
I've never cracked one myself, but I've picked up a game where like it was cracked and the little UMD disc fell out.
I mean, it's got to look adorable, right?
It absolutely does. That sounds right. Oh, that little PSP UMD drive. That thing rules.
Yeah, as long as it keeps working.
It's gonna eventually have
Bring it on.
the maintenance requirements of a PC Engine Duo, where you have to stroke it every morning, make sure you apply grease to it once a week, spin that worm gear around.
Apply that what is it? The lithium grease to it.
Yep, exactly. You got to sing to it while you're doing it too, to make sure
is
it
there
performs
even
the
like
best.
a replacement laser of any kind?
I don't know. Probably not.
It might be. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, people will just say it's so easy to hack, and you can just run ISOs.
Yeah, but
I'm sure that I'm
it's just
not
not
sure.
the same. It's just not the same, dude.
There's definitely some screen tearing.
Yeah, but it's a pretty impressive game in terms of. Oh, this is a game where I basically always run my PSP, even because I use UMDs, but I always run it in overclocked mode. Just leave it that way, because it basically cleans up any issues like that.
And that's just a feature of being hacked, right?
Yeah. I believe there were later games that were allowed to run at the higher clock speed as well.
Oh.
But with the homebrew, you can bring up the menu and just overclock it and leave it that way for everything.
Yeah.
Same. You can do the same on 3DS.
Looks like the bugs won.
There's $10 from Robert Hernandez. Thank you. Saying happy Sunday, everyone. Question for the panel. Should I buy a PS Portal or simply use the iOS app with my DualShock 5? Is the play experience on the PS Portal better than the app on an iPhone 15 Pro Max? I mean,
No.
I think that it probably is not any better. And also, you could you can use like your data to stream if you needed to. With the Portal, you got to be on Wi-Fi. And even then, if it's like not even Wi-Fi within your own house, it's unreliable.
Dude, it sucks. I'm not a fan of the Portal, but everybody knows that.
This FMV definitely has like some compression in it, but I bet it's clean enough that I bet you would almost not even know it on the PSP screen.
Yep. When I first played it, I wasn't sure that it was FMV. But yeah, if you see it blown up, it's pretty obvious.
Let's see, are there
The PSP, the Pizzy.
Camera,
Got that
camera, normal, camera.
that
there.
portable PlayStation.
Wait, that didn't.
There was $2 from Dad1153. Thank you. Saying, John, any PSP to PS2 ports worth seeking out? Is this one? Did this one get one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Man, that's actually a
Wait,
good question. That's why we want to do a video.
Jack and Daxter, the Lost Frontier.
Yeah.
Got
Yep,
one.
yep.
I think Secret Agent Clank,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure about
So
size matters.
they're so both Siphon Filter games.
Yeah.
Burnout Dominator.
Right.
Both GTA Vice City and Liberty City Stories.
Yeah.
Secret Agent Clank and Ratchet and Clank Size Matters.
Yeah.
Innocent Life. A Futuristic Harvest Moon. Silent Hill Origins. Motorstorm Arctic Edge. Lemmings. Twisted Metal Head On. Luminous Plus, technically. And then Wipeout Pulse.
Oh, Wipeout Pulse. I saw something saying like that is. It's a really good version. It has all the DLC or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
This interior area is really good looking. It has really.
Oh
good,
yeah,
just has like really good like fake lighting in it too. Just like the way it just has a good atmosphere, you know.
Yeah, this game was really impressive back when it launched. I remember.
I have
visually
no idea what
speaking.
I'm supposed to be doing though. I should probably be paying attention. This is probably a game where I have to pay too much.
The Warriors
attention.
probably was on PS2 first. Cause that was on
Yeah.
Xbox and everything.
Yeah. That came out, I think, later on PSP.
What is this guy even saying?
There's also $5 from InGen UK, who I was hoping was going to be here because you're talking about getting those getting your last treasure game.
Yeah.
And InGen UK is always asking for like a treasure video.
I know. I really want to do a trigger video at some point. It's just, man, it's going to be a lot of work, and I feel like the payoff isn't going to be great. So I have to find a way to pitch that.
Yeah.
To be able to make the time for it. By the way, do you notice how the game transitions from the room out into the open world there seamlessly?
Yeah.
You can never have too many of these precursor orbs.
But InGen UK with £5 asking, have you guys tried PSP on Steam Deck? It's unreal. I've been enjoying Mega Drive. Also, really pops on the OLED. It's like it's made for it. I have not done any of the MU Deck stuff on my. I don't have an OLED, but.
Oh, do you want me to? I have an OLED here. I should bring it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Although you might see it and be like, "Oh crap."
Well, I'm sure that I would be like that, but I don't play my Steam Deck enough to like
warrant that.
To warrant it, you know, like I'll wait for like a next generation or wait for 2 generations or something like that to get another one. Although I did just get that bundle that Fanatical had, where it was like every single Fallout game and all DLC for $25 for Steam.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah. So I started watching that show. It's good. It's good. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I thought it was. I didn't really know what to expect because like I'm familiar with the games, but I'd never played any of them very much. But found it like really enjoyable.
And now you'll have plenty of time to sit back and play every Fallout game back to back.
Yes, plenty of time for that kind of thing. There's also $10 from Paul Sutton. Thank you. Saying, speaking of broken PSP games, a dude bought one with a new bunch of games. Came back the next day furious. None of these games work. The guy broke all the UMDs open.
What?
His only disc went into the PSP.
Oh no!
You gotta be kidding me! Oh no!
Like he was like this like little enclosure must surely be meant to be opened.
With a bunch of
games.
The fact that like even doing one and didn't work, like eventually you're just gonna do all of them before you like look it up. And I mean that is like some serious effort to get those out of there.
Yeah, they don't open that easily, actually. You really have to crack the plastic for that to work. What on earth?
Oh, hopefully you didn't give him a refund and be like, listen, you just like actually broke all of these. Couldn't they just like Google, like look it up? One of them doesn't work, like look it up.
Did they get mad, I wonder? And like
they said they were pissed off.
Because I always come back to when my sister
Period.
worked at
Sorry.
EB Games. She had somebody got mad about something with an Xbox, and he actually threw the Xbox at her.
Whoa.
But it's the original Xbox, and you know how heavy that is.
Yeah.
Yikes.
She actually got slightly injured from that.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez. I didn't really like nothing like that even came close to happening. There was one time where a guy, like, I had just closed and he had to return something, and I would not open the gate to, like, I had just closed and I would not open the
Right.
gate to, like, let him return it. And he was like, got so angry. He came back the next day and said, after you did that, I told my manager, said, I was so angry about it that I, like, punched out the window of the car.
What?
That's what he said. That's what he told my manager, that he was so angry that I wouldn't do, like, this last thing for them, like, after I'd already closed, that they went outside and punched out the window of their car.
Jesus. That's a scary person.
And is that
Yeah.
Quote unquote gamer moments, says
Yeah.
the bubble.
is, I mean, is
Just
that,
just
is that,
gamer things.
was that supposed to make your manager want to like give him a refund or something?
I have no
Or fire
idea.
you? Oh, look
That
at
would
these-
make me
look
want
at-
to
look at
call
these
the
I hope
outrages.
he
police.
felt stupid about it. I mean, that would be my hope, is that, like, I was so angry about it that I did that, and I feel so stupid having done that.
I mean, you didn't moon him or something, right?
No.
Okay,
I
making
just
sure.
I was like working by myself, and then I just had closed, and I was already counting out the register and stuff, and they were like, please, I just drove all this way to return this thing, and I know exactly what I need. I'm like, I can't do anything for you.
Just camp out in the mall here and come back in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, people. That was always a thing at the game stores. It's like I remember that when people would come. The worst is like somebody come in like 2 minutes before closing, and then
Yeah.
they'd start like going through stuff and like rustling around the shelves, and then they'd put it back in the wrong spot, and then they'd be like, "Oh, never mind," and they just leave.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, for me, it was always like people that would come in and like buy stuff. When if it's kind of a slow day, and you're closing, then you're already kind of starting to like count out the register and everything. And if you might be almost completely ready to close, like when it's closing time. You close and you can like basically like leave right away.
right.
But then, it always sucks when somebody buys something after you've already done that.
Yeah. Man.
There was also $5 Canadian dollars from Buddy Scotch. Thank you.
Thank you, Hey.
Yeah.
Saying, watching from my hotel room after going to the Calgary Comic Expo.
Ooh.
Picked up a few things, but the coolest is by far a Game Boy Micro. Unbelievably tiny.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's really cool. I used to put that in my change pocket in my jeans when I lived in New York.
Yeah, I love those little things. It's so. I don't like playing games with lots of text on them on that thing.
Right.
I find that's kind of uncomfortable. But there are plenty of games that work well on the micro.
Yeah. I mean, I just played like Mario 3 on it, or Mario World.
I would say the micro is about as small as you can go while still having a reasonably comfortable system to hold.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Like it still feels okay to use it, but I feel like when you go smaller, which some things have, it gets too cramped and not enjoyable to use.
How does the Game Gear Mini thing compare?
It's too small. Like it's neat, but it's really tiny. Like it's really small. Have you not used it?
I don't think so. I don't have.
It's like
one.
it's like a third of the size of the Game Boy Micro, maybe less.
That's just crazy.
Wait, what is?
The Game Gear Micro.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You have one,
it's
Corey?
a novelty.
I do, yeah.
It's small, right? Like it's really small. Like it's purely. I also have the little the what is it? The big window thing that they made for it.
The
The little big window.
I just think it's funny that at one point, like that's what they called that thing, the big window.
The big window.
Big window.
But I do like that. I do like it because it's I have the one. I assume you have the same one with the Alesta stuff on it.
I do not.
Okay.
Because that one was a lot more expensive. It's like the white one, right?
Yeah, I picked up the
I
Alesta
think I
one.
got the blue one. Let me go check because I've not.
Because it's the only
lifetime that came out.
It has obviously GG Alesta 3 on it, which is really cool on there. It's pretty playable with the little big window. So Troy, what are you thinking of this so far?
I'm impressed. It's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool little game. It's I always like this.
You know, Jack 2 is actually on my
Yeah, I got the blue.
on my
one.
pledge list this year, and it's kind of making me think like, oh, maybe I could go for that soon.
I got the blue one because they had Gunstar Heroes on it. I think.
Good. That's good though.
Yeah, you know it's funny because I totally even forgot these things came out, and I forgot that I even had it. You ever feel like
Oh,
that?
wow.
Like where you just like and I just have something like this that I forgot these things even existed too, like these Game & Watches. I've never even opened this Mario one.
Oh yeah,
I got the Zelda one at a pawn shop, and it was like never even played.
I
Not able to
hate
even play that.
when, like, I was so glad they didn't announce another one like of those like the next year, because like I always feel like I have to get it, and I just have no use for it. I mean, it's
well,
so
the game
stupid.
lineup
I mean,
on the Zelda one is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Zelda
Man, this room
one's
looks
having-
great, doesn't it?
yeah, I love all the non-right angle design and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of geometry in there to like make it all look a little bit off.
John, how do you
somebody's
feel
asking-
about the Treasure GBA games?
I mean, I don't think they're as good as the originals that they're derived from, but I think they're both excellent.
Yeah.
Gunstar Superheroes definitely has some cool stuff going on,
Yeah.
and Advanced Guardian Heroes as well. Like again, it's not. I don't like it as much as the Saturn game, but I still think it's surprisingly fun.
Is Advanced Guardian Heroes expensive?
I don't think it's. I haven't checked in a while. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think either of those games are all that expensive.
I mean, I think Gunstar Superheroes has been going up, but
It's good though.
a few years ago it was probably, I don't know, 30, 40.
Yeah, they also did Astro Boy Omega Factor on GBA, which is excellent.
Which you were looking for at Midwest Gaming Classic, Corey.
Yes. I
You
mean,
didn't- you
yeah.
didn't find it though, right?
No. I mean, it's like $100 card only. That's like
you
one
were,
of the.
you were kind of in a bit of a GBA mode.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know how that is. Sometimes you just get in a mode for a system, and that's
The what?
you just get in a mode where you're like, okay, I'm hunting for this system today or this
Yeah.
for this month.
Yeah,
Yes.
it happens.
The battery on this. I think it was dead. I was gonna try it out. I can charge it.
Oh, Vincent Edmund said, by the way, I bought Lair and the Order 1886 because of you. I hope that's a positive. I bought them.
I also did it because, I mean, the Order 1886 is something I always intended to get, but when you did your videos, when I finally actually got it.
Oh, cool. I like it. And Lair is extremely flawed, but I think it's interesting. It's basically Rogue Squadron, but less polished, but it's more ambitious in terms of what they're trying to do visually.
Oh, look at these tilting chandeliers.
It's a neat touch.
Yeah, there's quite a lot going on in this game. It's impressive.
It really showcased what Ready at Dawn was capable of.
Well, I mean,
They would go on to make those 2 God of War games on the PSP, which
Well,
were really impressive.
Yeah, which I've never played the PSP versions. I played them on PS3.
Right, sure.
Because I didn't.
And they're good, right? Like it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that Chains of Olympus is better than
Yeah,
Ghost
I
of
agree.
Sparta. Ghost of Sparta is good. It's a lot longer, and I feel like
It's too long.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with a lot of those games, especially that gameplay style. Like I just got so sick of that same style of game by the end.
Yeah.
By the time Ascension came out, I was like, I do
Yep,
not feel
yep.
like, and that's a big reason I haven't played the other ones. I think I haven't played, and I know
Even
that
though
they're
they're
a lot
so
different.
different.
Yeah, I
they're,
understand,
they're
and I
super
understand that.
different.
I've still not played Ragnarok.
Man, I liked Ragnarok a lot, but it's hard to go back because it was such a bad. It can't. I reviewed it when I was not doing well, so it makes me think of bad things when I look at that game. So it is forever tainted.
Do you think that it would make you less likely to play the next one too?
No, I'd play the next one if they make the next one.
Didn't they say that it was going to be like a duology?
Yeah, I don't know if. I feel like this is probably they may be done with it for now. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I'd be curious if they continued it, if they made his son the lead character. Oh,
Oh, you
almost
can
done.
have batteries in this. This takes batteries. I thought it has a USB,
Well,
so you can plug it in too. So.
gentlemen, it's getting a bit late over here, and it
you-
seems like I'm gonna have to get ready to hop off here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So thanks for having me on again, and I'll be back in the future. I'll probably join Corey on some of his was it Monday morning streams?
Yeah, I'm not
Or
sure. It's usually Tuesday. Oh, you mean
Tuesday.
after you get back? Yes.
Yeah, when I'm back in Germany.
Right. Yeah. Because I have a video that I need to have done by Tuesday, and
Right.
unless I finish it somehow tomorrow, like there won't be a stream on Tuesday. But
Right,
we will
right,
have.
right.
You're more than welcome to join anytime.
Yep, I'll probably do that when I get back to Germany.
Especially because that's when John is awake and I very much am not yet awake.
Exactly. Corey strikes a nice balance there, getting up fairly early. And but yeah, that was fun as always. And I guess I'll be saying this is John Beatles signing off.
John Beadle. I don't understand it.
John Video Games Linneman.
Yeah, well,
So,
thanks for being on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. And
We'll see you next time.
See you guys next time. Thanks everybody in the chat, and continue the PSP-ing
I will.
without me.
I will.
Yeah.
I've
All right.
gone through
Bye-bye now.
almost half my stack here. I'm probably not going to play my whole stack, but
All right.
Not going to play that whole stack.
yeah.
That fat stack.
Let me
Fat stacks,
readjust
baby.
the cameras.
Here we go.
Okay.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Later.
Now Corey's peeking.
Am I peeking?
You're peeking.
Wow, when I was a little kid, that was like my uncle's name for me. He called me Peaky. I don't know why.
What?
I don't know. When I was a little kid, when I was like really little, that was like his name for me. I'm hoping that I'm going to show up.
Sit in your
I'm going the
normal
wrong way.
position so I can size this.
Yes, I was. Thank God that worked out.
What worked out?
I was just making a crazy face, and you like moved it over to my face. We got 10 pounds from SE from the special edition, saying, "Greetings. I hope you guys are well. How do you feel about disc-based games that have been resurfaced? I just got into some light collecting. It's hard to find discs that haven't had this done. I don't mind as much as I used to. I think the technology has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
That you can almost not tell. I mean, if you really pay attention and really know what to look for, I'm sure you can tell. But I mean, thinking back to those days, just it like makes me like writhe in pain thinking about those things that EB Games used to sell, the game doctors. They would make it so that you'd like crank this thing.
Oh my gosh! Ooh.
And I guess it worked, but just thinking about that, and how I wonder how many people out there have game doctored discs. Yeah, they leave like the terrible spiral pattern on there.
Yeah, there's like that. It's almost like that like James Bond gun barrel swirl, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, when I look at a disc like that, I'm kind of like, unless it's like doesn't look that bad and it's cheap enough, I might be like, well, okay. But there's some like, man, let me tell you, like whatever they use at the grid, I have never seen, I've never bought a disc game from the grid that didn't look like it was just like new out of the box.
Yeah, I mean, if you like
obviously that means
probably
that obviously
well
that means that they must resurface them because there's just no chance that they only sell perfect discs. So whatever
Right.
they have is awesome. And the one in Video Game World is really good too.
Is this the U.S. version of this, or is this the
It is the US
Japanese?
version. I'm trying, I think I got this on my trip to Germany. I got it at some point in the past 2 months, and I'm actually drawing a blank on exactly where I got it. Because it is the US version, but I'm pretty sure I got it in Germany.
That's like that time when all the Capcom boxes had that same style. Like them coming out, like the whatever the art is
like
coming
sort
out
of
of
the
that,
white.
like the silver, like the white with the silver ring or gold ring or whatever it is.
My cousin's husband had this on his PSP.
A game doctor should have been sued for malpractice. Paul says
like
my
this
servicer is a $7,000 machine. It rules. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the really good ones are amazing. You know, I have a copy of Godzilla Saves the Earth, or whatever the second one was.
Wow, look at
PS2
that
and,
beard texture. That beard texture made me uncomfortable.
It's like
his face. Like his
yes.
Like
It
it's
almost
supposed to
looks
be a
like-
big bushy beard, but it's just like his face.
It's just his face, and it's like that beard goes. It's not like long or anything. It's like
It looks long,
Just,
but it's not.
right. It's just the goes all the way up his lips. He has no lips. It's just like directly on there. But yeah, the game doctor. I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I never wanted to use that.
How many did you sell?
I did not push them at the time. You should ask Jeremy Parrish like what he thinks about this game sometime.
Ask him about what?
About this game. He's the one that gave it like a 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's an infamous review, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Was it for like 1UP or something like that? He gave it a 2.
Wow. I
But
mean,
I
I've
think that
generally
is one of the
heard
reasons
people say
they-
it's pretty good. It's hard, but good.
It's yeah. I mean, it's decent. But the Japanese one, like there's kind of like a remake of it that gets rid of like the I don't know, like just turns it more into just like a straightforward game instead of like I don't know. It almost has like a world map in this.
I
Like
mean,
not like not like the typical kind of world map. I think it might have like branching paths and stuff.
oh,
You don't have a double jump as like an item, I think, in this.
right. But he has a ledge grab.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, the Power Stone collection is expensive now too. I saw that at Midwest Gaming Classic because I only have the second one physically, and I would love to get the first one. And the PSP collection seemed like a good compromise at one point.
Whoa.
Oh, for sure. The original 2D art style is way better for this, but it's easy to understand why they did this.
Yeah,
I mean they pretty much had to. You know?
It's neat to see them attempt it.
Yeah. And the series had really been gone outside of Maximo for a long time. And, you know, it's sad because I think the Capcom themselves just really like this series, but I don't think that most people, unless they're fans of it back in the day, like it. Zane's dad has been a member for 39 months, but also says that Zane beat his 26th game today. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. He wants to catch up to Try's game count.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah, he wants to catch up to your game count though.
Look at this wizard. Doesn't that look like Rubicante's robe? It's like
a little bit, yeah.
Demon wizard I'm fighting.
I never called him Rubicante.
Well,
I don't know, like I never heard it like said, so I didn't have no idea. Like,
it's Rubicante.
Okay. I always call him Rubicant.
It's Scarmiglione. They say all of the names out loud.
I call him Scaramanga.
Scaramanga.
I mean, I knew that wasn't like the right thing, but that's like how I always referred to him as.
Barbaricia. The turtle is. I'm trying to think how they say it. They say all the names out loud in Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, okay.
It's like Cagnazzo or something like that.
I always thought like I call him like Cagnazio.
Yeah, there's a little more Italian flair to how they pronounce it, I think.
Yeah.
In 14 at least. I don't know about like the DS game.
So you got the leap boots. Can you double jump now? Or you just got a higher jump?
Oh, I can double jump.
Yeah. There's no grabbing keys for coming in this one.
Yeah, the level just kept moving. Oh. I'm actually a little surprised I made it through a level. I mean, it's pretty tough, but...
Yeah. Imagine what kind of kick-ass Ghouls and Ghosts game they can make now if they would just go with pixels. Everyone would eat it up. I feel like what they did with the most recent one was really good. I liked the new one a lot. And I know that a lot of people didn't, but I thought the style of it was really, really cool. I thought that was a great approach for a look for that game. And I think even if they just went with pixels, I don't think it would sell good. I think that there's a specific audience for these games, and I don't think that audience, unfortunately, will basically never.
I mean, if they maybe like put some like Souls-like trappings into it, maybe it would.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
Because
Perhaps.
like that is super popular, and including like 2D Souls-likes, right? So.
Make it like Dark Souls, maybe it would sell. I mean, it was originally like kind of Dark Souls-ish, right? And at least in this difficulty. Look at that snake.
Yeah, but there's more to the Souls formula than just difficulty, of course.
Yeah. Okay. You got a snake, man.
Yeah, oh, I'm a grasshopper. That seems bad.
It'd be funny if the grasshopper had a
Whoa.
big red beard. I mean, see, so you got like the different armors and stuff. You kind of see, you know, it's like it's certainly a lot more complex
Right.
than the previous games.
Whoa.
Have I played any of these Sega Vintage collections on the Xbox One and Series consoles via backwards compatibility? I think I had the Wonder Boy and the Golden Axe ones, and I haven't really played them that much. I just had them from before. I've not really played them on the Xbox, because I mean, really, my Xbox Series X is really just a power wash simulator playing machine now. That's the only game that I play on it, for some reason. Although, you know, I did start Stellar Blade. I felt
that's
interest.
on PS5.
I know, but I'm just saying that
I didn't know you got it.
Yeah. I played the demo. I thought, like, I kind of like how this is going. It's definitely tough, and I don't know if I understand the timings of things.
Yeah, I heard that they improved the input lag.
Yeah, I still feel like I don't understand completely what it wants me to do.
Yeah, I when I played the demo, it seemed like blocking and countering was really important.
Yes, and I understand that, but there's like also like a dodge and stuff like that. That's not a typical dodge. It's like another thing, where it's like if their attack glows a certain color, you gotta like press up and dodge at the same time. But it never seems to work for me.
Like sometimes like a blocking and countering system sometimes work for me really well. Like I liked it in like the newer Metroid games, but sometimes it doesn't hit right for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was uncertain when I played the Stellar Blade demo if that kind of countering was working for me, but it might. Oh hey, I beat another level. Look at me, I'm a pro at this game.
Russ, you know, I'm surprised. We recorded an episode like last week. I'm surprised it hasn't been edited and put out. I'll ask him about it.
What was it?
There were, like Russ was asking if the podcast is on hold for a bit, and we recorded one last week, and I guess it's not out. I didn't realize that it was not out.
Maybe it was saving it for this next week.
Maybe. But what I think might happen is we might switch to like once we kind of get back in the swing of things, I might switch to like a bi-weekly release schedule, and I think that would be a good approach. For us.
I knew it.
I gotta run to the bathroom. I will be right back.
I like how this monster looks. I mean, I like a lot about how this game looks, honestly, and I'm kind of feeling it. It is not a 2, but it is tough. Whoops. Oh, I thought I was going to take a key for... Oh, I am going to take a key for coming in. I took a key for coming in. Yes. See, there was a super chat or two, but I'll wait for Corey to get that when he gets back. Oh, why is it giving me a different... It's giving me a different save screen. Why stage select. What does that mean? Why? Oh, was that? Oh, wait. Oh, okay, so that was all one stage? Huh. Okay, so that was just one stage. This is pretty good, I gotta say. I'm liking this so far. I've been enjoying much of what I have played tonight. Maybe a bit less so with Ape Escape Academy. Yeah, I'm pretty positive Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins is a PSP exclusive. Pretty sure. All right, what else we got here? What else we got here? How about... Okay, here's kind of a wild card. I'm pretty sure this game is also on PS2 and maybe Wii. I'm not sure though. But I was trying to collect games from this series, and there's only, I think, one or two made that I don't have. And this was the cheapest version of it because it's a series that for whatever reason has become pretty expensive. But I have no idea how good this is considered. I feel like most of this era of Silent Hill is not considered especially good, but I want to give them a chance. Man, where's Corey? Oh, there's Corey.
All right.
There he is.
I do like grab a small little handful of cashews while I was upstairs and yeah. I mentioned it earlier, but I'm there will be like an episode out on Tuesday. It's kind of something I had to put together that we put together like pretty quick as a we had like have a sponsorship obligation, and in my I don't want to have a sponsorship spot on my room tour video, so we had to do an obligation for April. So I'm putting together like a 15-20 minute video on the memory card pros, the mem card pros,
which I think people will be quite happy to see. I'm excited to see it because I wanna know more about how to use them myself. You know, beyond just the basics that I know, right?
Yeah. No, it's not. It's just another factor spot. We signed a thing where they wanted to do, I think 6 sponsorship spots for this entire year. So we got like 2, like last month's, this month's, and I think there's 2 during the summer and then 2 in the fall.
I've got 2 ideas for fairly easy episodes that I'm pretty sure I'm going to do. So
yeah,
that I think will be fun ideas. I don't know how broad the appeal will be, but I have some fun ideas.
Yeah, and I think the idea will be like, Oh wait, we can like get those ready. There'll be one of those will be the like another one of the compilations videos, and then that'll be it'll be nice to get them done like ahead of time if we can. But like I know everyone's like anticipating the tour video, and it won't be that much farther. That guy looks so funny. I think there's something about him that.
I mean, I think for the time it's pretty good FMV.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the deal. Like I know that everyone's like excited for the room tour video, and it won't be that much longer after. I just wanted to. I just don't want a sponsorship spot on the tour
and
video.
if I do these really these that should be pretty quick and easy to do, that'll free you up the breathing room to do your tour.
Hmm? I mean, I'm already like making my way, like I'm pretty far into it, anyways. So, it's really just we try to just like do sponsorships on videos that are more like general broader
interest.
appeal. Yeah, and stuff that I think might get like more views for being like more general subjects. Not always, but we had originally intended on doing this sponsorship attached to like our Final Fantasy Rebirth discussion, but you just finished it yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, come back.
I mean,
and now it's been like tomorrow will be 2 months since it came out. So I mean, maybe if we do record something, I could see it being just kind of like might even be like would be like close to another video or something like that, and just kind of be just put out there as a side thing.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not opposed to doing it. I think it could be fun.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, I'm going to put as much as I can into this memory card pro video. I still got a little ways to go, and I'll just try to fit in everything that I want to, but Tuesday rolls around, it's like I got to call it and be like, this is what it's going to have in it. Yeah. And that's it. So that'll be that.
Good luck. I wish I could help with it more. Did you grab the B-roll that I uploaded?
Yep.
Let me know if you need more.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that the B-roll that you send me, none of them are turned on because you don't have any, you have them working really or set up.
Well, they're on my B-roll table.
Right. Well, that I know, but I'm just saying like I got to show stuff like certain things on the screen, like certain.
Well, right. I mean, there's going to be
per game saves and stuff like that. Like
right, which I mean, even if they were on, like they wouldn't be showing the specific things you would need to show anyway. So
right. But I mean, like a lot of my stuff is just like.
But you can use that kind of stuff in the intro and the ending and the credits screen.
Yeah, or just here and there. Like it's like I've totally used a bunch of it.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
Right. It's not going to be like the stuff that you are like talking about specific things. That's
right.
Not what I expected it to be for at all.
But I think people should just expect like it's kind of like an overview of them, but also I'm going to get into like how you can do per game saves with real discs if you want to. I think a lot of people have this idea that you can only do per game. Have per game memory card files on there if you have like an ODE. But I mean the huge thing is that the PS2, like you can have per game memory card saves like just straight up without having any mods or anything like that, because from what I understand is like during like the last couple months, people just found out that the PS2 like writes like a game ID descriptor to like something like in the memory card slot.
Mm-hmm.
and it just they found out how to read that. They didn't like nobody even knew that it did that until like recently.
You're coming.
And it uses that to generate a per game memory card save. So you don't even need like free McBoot or you have to use OPL or anything to get per game saves. I think that a lot of people don't know that. Like it's kind of a big deal. And yes, the system can make like gigantic memory card files if you want to, and they've been tested and should work just fine. Like I have a 32 meg save file, or it has like 4 memory cards worth of stuff on it, and it reads and writes just fine. But if you don't need to like bust all that stuff, like if you don't need that, or you don't even need that period, if you just want to use per game memory card saves. So I mean, it's cool. It's I don't think a lot of people know about that. And really, the whole other thing that I didn't even know about at the time was, or just until recently, was about like free PSX boot and about how that, you put that on a secondary memory card, or you can even do it like right on the Mem Card Pro, like make it so that it boots into that, where it's like a hack where you can make the system read any disk without a mod. It's a soft mod, and the new versions like actually sends data to the Mem Card Pro, and it generates a per game memory card file based on what you're playing, like using game ID. It's pretty crazy, and I think that's pretty neat. And with a GameCube, you can do per game memory card saves if you boot the disc through Swiss.
Oh, hey, you just woke off of one of the Chocobo stop benches. He didn't use a cushion though, so probably didn't get a full heal.
It's like, it's too bad he doesn't have the, it doesn't have his little seat cushion, right?
That little like 1 inch thick dollar store cushion.
I know. I just like how he just kind of he like whips it down there. He like opens it. And he's like.
Did she make it? They would have taken her to the hospital.
Oh, hey there.
Oh, a big one.
From Elar. Thank you. Saying, hey guys, I've been away from your Sunday night stream for a while, but I'm glad you're still going strong. Thank you for all the years of great content. Well, if there's one thing that we've been pretty reliable with, I think it's these live streams. That's our most reliable aspect at this point.
We're doing pretty good though in terms of content.
But I mean, I think that we're most reliable, and like you can generally expect to see us here every Sunday.
I gotta say this fog is kind of neat looking for PSP. Really, don't you think? Like it's it's not bad how they're doing this actually. Like I don't know, I mean I haven't really gotten to much of any real gameplay, but I'm feeling this more than I feared I might. This could be interesting.
Oh, Rally Lancer, you went to Centralia, the real Silent Hill.
Wait, what? Oh, is that the place that has
like the methane gas or something like that?
The smoke that's like always coming up out of the ground or something?
Yeah, from like the mines or something like that, right?
There's like an underground like coal fire or something like
gone
on forever or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Maybe I missed it like earlier.
Did you miss a super chat?
Oh, I missed a $1 from pretty chill Phil. I think that was when I was in the bathroom.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. But really, like, let's see here. Saying played from $1 from pretty chill Phil. Saying played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm playing it now. It's good, but I'm constantly Googling every mechanic. It's buckling under the weight of so many systems wrapped around a tough menu system.
This was Xenoblade 2?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, like I gave up
is
on
it,
2 pretty
XC2?
early on in some ways because it felt. I don't know. The combat system didn't feel like it was going to evolve into something that would be very interesting to me. But you know, I maybe gave up on it before I should. I really liked 3 though.
Yeah, well, you got rid of 2. Do you kind of like?
I regret that I did that, of course, but
especially like having played 1 and 3.
Yeah,
probably.
And X.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's the only one you just didn't get into it.
I was not feeling it.
Yeah.
Hey, you a doctor? Can I help you?
I feel like
3 is really good.
I remember you coming to I think it was your. It might have been when we were going to.
Was she hurt? She was burned all over. Are you
Was it? It was on the Switch, so it would have been.
I don't know her name.
Maybe it was close to when we were going to Japan.
She must have been brought here.
And you said, you know, like I'm trying to get into it, but I just can't.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is like you were playing it and trying to get into it. I think it was right around the time we went to Japan.
No,
because I remember you came to my house, and I don't feel like you drove at that time.
I never flew to your house. I came to your house. What was it? Because it was around Christmas, or it had to wait.
I know that you've never flown here, but I wonder if.
I feel like it was like shortly after Christmas. It was when I was at your house for New Year's.
Oh, okay.
So why was it to interview Kevtris?
It might have been.
It might have been like around the time of the Super NT when we did that.
That would make sense.
That's got to be what it was.
I know that you're right.
Winter.
You've never flown here, but I wonder if you. I was just thinking, like, I wonder if you like flew here because we were going someplace else.
No, I've never flown. I've flown from Cincinnati with you, but I've never.
Right.
I always drove to your house first. It's got like a lot of flashlight stuff going on. I mean, I don't know. This is.
Well, I mean, if there's one thing they got to nail, it's like they got to nail the flashlight in the fog.
I know, but like considering this is like, I'm not sure if this was originally designed for PSP or.
I think this one, yeah, this is one of the ones that it got ported to the PS2 after this.
Right, but that version is a lot more expensive.
I feel like he kind of looks like Sean William Scott.
I forget who that is.
If anybody in the chat knows who I'm talking about, does he kind of look like Sean William Scott? I think he does.
Okay, how do I? Okay, I got a hammer.
Maybe he's based on.
I do not know the controls. Okay, hold R and press X.
Nikki Laser says he does look like Sean William Scott. But Cloud FS7 says, maybe. And Henry Clark says, I just watched the first 2 American Pie movies this weekend. I have not watched them in a very long time. I don't feel like I don't think that I would enjoy them as much. No. It's been over 20 years. Yeah. And you know, like they were totally like fine at the time, like and enjoyable. I've seen them all. I've seen all 4 I've not seen like the direct to video ones, but I've seen the one with like the ones with the original cast in them.
did you?
Um,
I'm seeing.
I mean, I can't help but think that he's like slightly based on him.
I mean, I feel like, you know, I think it's kind of like the lo-fi-ness is like kind of.
It works well for.
It works. It actually works really well for this, I think, and that was something that I liked a lot about, you know, the first one as well. And I feel like, but it's also got like some neat stuff like the shadows and stuff. So like I don't know. It's kind of hitting this interesting middle ground between like the PS1 game and the PS2 games. That's like actually kind of appealing to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually pretty interested in this. It's more appealing to me than I feared it might be. It's sometimes 60 frames per second too. Not always, but sometimes.
Oh, he did. There's no way he mocapped for this. That would be very funny if he did. Totally unrelated, but on Friday I had like a little outing where I went to see the guy who has done like one of my favorite current podcasts. Well, now it's ended, but 60 Songs That Explain the 90s.
Oh yeah, you talk about that all the time.
Yeah. So it's over with, but the guy wrote a book also, but he is from Columbus. He lives up in Columbus, and he was down here doing a, I don't know, just like kind of a Q&A thing, or like an interview type thing, and just like hang out book signing type thing. And it's like a very small little thing. It was free, and I got to go and see him speak, and met him and had him sign my copy of the book. It was cool. It's cool.
Did you tell him I make the lowest effort podcast ever?
You know, I was like really close to asking if he would ever want to be on it. I'm sure he would say like, "Oh, you need to talk to this person." I don't know what their numbers are like. I feel as though I could probably send him an email and he would do it. You know, I think that it's very possible, and I should have. His name is Rob Harvilla, and the name of the podcast is called 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. Hang on, I got a copy of the book over here. Hang on.
This is actually kind of interesting. The idea of a PSP game on a Silent Hill game on PSP
is the book right here.
More appealing than I thought it might be.
It's cool, you know. Like he signed it and personalized it for me. Kind of cool. If you've never listened to the podcast, people in the chat, then and you like all sorts of like 90s music, then this is a great podcast to listen to. He has very much like a kind of a photographic memory, I think, about stuff.
I'm gonna crack open a LocoRoco.
Oh, isn't it like a rhythm game, kind of? Or is that
no? I mean, there's like
or is that the one that's
there's reactive musical elements, but
okay.
You're thinking of Patapon.
Yes, I get those two. One of them was like with the army of silhouettes, and the other one's with like the blobs.
Yeah, Patapon is not of interest to me. I played the demo of this. I think there's also, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say, isn't there also one of those emulated?
I can't believe how many brand new games you have here.
Huh?
How did you end up with like a new sealed copy of this? Is it real cheap?
when the PSN was about to go down, or the storefronts were threatened to go down, I bought a bunch of PS3 games and PSP games.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of cheap sealed PSP games out there. Like some of them are just cheap. They're just cheap. So it's like, well, why not?
It didn't take me any time to get this t-shirt because I got it when I was there, when we were there. So it went directly from their office to my body, essentially. Let's see here. Kaylee Gamer is like, so what 90s music is in here? So there's like a lot. Just kind of going through. There's the Cars, They Might Be Giants, Talking Heads, Smashing Pumpkins, Smiths, John Cougar Mellencamp, Back U2, Radiohead, Jeff Buckley.
I did not
R.E.M.
bring down Mega Man Powered Up because I've played that before.
Yeah, many.
I mostly brought, other than Ridge Racer, which I just wanted to start with, most of these are games I have not played before. But I did play a demo of this back in the day.
I don't know if there's any Modest Mouse in here. I mean, I remember like listening to an album recently and being amazed that it came out, for a Modest Mouse album, and being amazed that it came out in 1997. What is it, like a long drive with nothing to think about or whatever it's called? There's a whole bunch of stuff in here, you know, like looking here, it's like certain references, stuff like Prodigy, Backstreet Boys, Eminem, Spice Girls, Madonna, Hole. I don't know. It's if you like this kind of stuff, then it's probably, I bet you would like this book. But he's got a very a very descriptive photographic memory, and in a way, like I think that it's almost like a Tim Rogers of music.
I'm pretty sure if I remember, there's a PSP version of this, and I think there's a demo, PS4 version. Yeah, you know how there's like several like HD games. They're like,
there's like a PS, I think there's a PS4 collection or something like that of this.
Really? A physical?
I think so. Kind of like how there was like that PS4 version of Parappa the Rapper too.
Right. And they look,
I feel like there's like
a good, but I think they're just emulations, but
oh, well, yeah, I'm not sure.
They might
I thought there was like an
some,
HD one.
I think they have some like assets, but it's fundamentally emulation underneath, I believe.
Okay. There was $5 from Robert Hernandez. Thank you. Saying, if you could choose an older console to revive and bring back to commercial prominence, which console would you choose and why?
Ooh.
I think like, I don't know. Like I'm in a real PS1 groove as of late, and I don't know. Like the more I'm I've spent a lot of time thinking about like how PS1 might be like becoming my favorite console of all time. So I'm gonna say that. I think it would be really cool to see that kind of,
yeah, I mean,
2D and 3D, you know, just kind of figuring it outness of it. It was like,
but like, what would new PS1 games where they've like figured out 3D games? Like, what would that be like? You know,
I think it'd be really cool.
There's really not to my knowledge, there's really not a homebrew scene for PS1, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I've really been thinking a lot about how I think the PS1 has, like, the most exciting game library.
is that the Yoshi's Island font? I feel like that's like the Yoshi's Island and Wario Land logo font. Has anyone else seen this?
And the stage clear?
Yeah, the stage clear text.
Oh, I don't know.
Like the logo font. But like, I don't, you know, I mean, it's already kind of this situation with like the, you know, not officially from Sega, of course, but, you know, I think Genesis would be interesting, because what if Genesis got more like, you know, like Squaresoft style RPGs, right? Like, you know, it really didn't have a lot of that kind of stuff, but it could do it really well. And it has, you know, I personally really like how Super Nintendo sounds. I think it's like cool to poop on Super Nintendo sound capabilities these days, just because Genesis has that like true, you know, FM synthesis that is,
Yeah,
you know,
I always like the reverbiness of the Super Nintendo, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I just like reverb in general. So
I love it. I love it as well. But I feel like it would bring, in terms of like bringing back into commercial prominence, I feel like the Super Nintendo sound would offer less of something novel, I suppose, compared to the Genesis sound, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of like, oh, that it's just like, it would just be the greatest thing ever to me if, you know, Nintendo started making like actual Super Nintendo games again. That would be incredible. That would probably make me happier than Genesis games, just me being the Nintendo guy I am. But I, like, in my head, I'm thinking Genesis has potential to be more interesting, but just, I probably really would be happier if it was Super Nintendo or NES.
yeah, it'd be really interesting to see, you know, like developers, like new developers or like new people at places like Nintendo, like working with that old hardware and just seeing what they come up with, like knowing what is known now,
and being challenged,
but also having the resources to
but being
figure it out.
Yeah, but being challenged, I mean, I feel like, you know, I suspect that, I mean, you know, it's nice that we've got things like, you know, Unreal Engine and you know, all these like very accessible engines where people who have cool ideas can, you know, make games. But at the same time, I think there's something to be said for the fact that people used to have to really wrap their heads around this stuff and truly understand how it works, and their ideas came from a place of like, oh, I want to make this cool thing happen with the hardware. And then the concepts in terms of like characters and world and stuff like that came second. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think nowadays, I think a lot of it is like, ooh, what kind of world do we want to create? What kind of story do we want to tell? And I think games are ultimately more interesting when you think about them from the other way around, which is how it used to be. The characters and story and stuff like, you know, came about after they came up with their idea. Like, how do we want you to interact with the world, you know? So
Right.
I feel like being in a situation where they do have to like learn the hardware, learn to use it, to learn to think from a more technical perspective, I think would encourage more creative thinking from that direction than we get now. I'm not saying we don't get it at all now, but I think it's less the focus than it used to be. I think that would be interesting. I saw someone else say N64. I mean, I think that would be interesting as well, just because, you know, that here's where people were, you know, they were making their own, each company had like their own game engines and stuff like that. You know, there was, you know, every company had to have their like, their engine architects and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would appreciate seeing old hardware come back for that purpose, just to now there's so little incentive for the really technical people to work at like the people who like know how to write a game engine. Like there's no reason for them to work anywhere other than like Epic and a few other places that still use their own engines, right?
Right.
You know, and I think it would be nice for there to be more places for people like that to work and get to flex their technical muscles in a creative way, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, what is this for? Oh no, that thing ate my LocoRoco.
Yeah. So yeah, Zane says that hardware got too advanced. I mean, that's just kind of.
Yeah, and that's.
I mean, we've talked about that a lot, where it's like, you know, I'd be okay if like graphics just like stayed where they are for like. They don't even like they can just stay here. How about they just like stay like this until we got like 4K 60 like perfected.
Yeah.
You know, like why not just stick there instead of trying to
exactly
be like, oh, we're gonna say our system can do 8K if it wanted to, like.
Yeah,
like who cares at this point?
A game that performs well within its means will always impress me. Like, you know, I mentioned that Immortals of Avium that was free on PS Plus, and it's like that. You know, that was, you know, in fact, when you launch up the game, it's like, you know, hey, we're a small studio and this is our first game, and thanks for, you know, supporting original ideas and stuff. And it's like, that's cool, but I feel like they overreached their means. And I feel
they
like
probably got probably forced in a way to like, you guys got to deliver this.
Right, and it has to, you know, it's Unreal Engine 5.
Got to use these features.
It was like one of the first. It was like, I think the first Unreal Engine 5 game outside of Epic Games that actually used features like Lumen and Nanite and stuff like that. And like, but it's like that studio was not like they couldn't make it, you know, look like they just, it was beyond their means, I feel.
Yeah,
and
now you look at it, it's like
a more, if they had made it into a more sort of stylized sort of art style or something, like it could have, it could have hit the mark better, you know?
Yeah.
And I like, that was one of the reasons that I was such a big fan last year when I played Ridge Racer 7 and Inside, because those games felt like they understood the capabilities of the hardware. They felt like they understood the capabilities of their team and what they were well positioned to create, and did not try to do something that was beyond their means. And they as a result, I feel like both games were pitch perfect in their execution, even though, Ridge Racer 7 is, you know, for a quite dated system, and
but it looks better than a lot of games.
It looks better than a lot
like,
of. It looks
on that system for sure. Like,
and it was a launch game, and
yeah,
and
ran better, and just like has more of a cohesive style, and
exactly. And same with
they knew what they
Inside.
wanted to make.
They knew what they wanted to make, and then Inside is like, I got a Loco house part. Inside is a small studio, but they chose an art style and presentation and gameplay style that was not too ambitious for them.
Yeah.
And I think,
and you know what? The thing is
it's ageless.
It doesn't. Well, yes, yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of that, like Immortals of Avenum or whatever, Avenum or whatever.
Avium, yeah.
Avium, whatever it is. I mean, it's all that they went through all that, and it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
It didn't even matter, and it makes you wonder if they weren't like tied to like having to deliver something that they were attempting.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those EA originals, very similar to like It Takes Two and and A Way Out, which were I would say visually ambitious games for the type of studio, but that studio, like, they pulled it off.
And they knew what they wanted to make.
They knew what they wanted to make. They had the ability to do it. And if you're, there's nothing wrong with going for something a little more stylized.
Right.
Like you look up close at Immortals of Avium, and it's like from a distance, it looks like it's trying to be this like AAA looking thing, but like up close, you see like that is not a mark they were able to hit.
Right. There's a couple of super chats here. Actually, it looks like two from the same person, from Matthew. Matthew, thank you.
Thank you.
Saying first
one.
Saying,
three actually.
Oh, is there a third one?
Yeah,
a third one.
You're not missing anything else in between, are you?
No, I was just looking at the third one hadn't appeared on the stream.
Okay.
Yet. The first one saying I bought a Metabo impact driver for work, some other nice hand tools recently since my taxes are over and done with. Good to have new tools that work. Yes.
I'm not familiar with the brand Metabo.
Yeah. Sounds like
something
like Nintendo would make.
Well,
like
I was gonna say it sounds like something from the Mega Man world. Like those are the tools that like
yes,
Dr. Light uses.
Yes, the Tabos.
And it has like one of the Metools is like the logo.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Dr. Light using his Metabo screwdriver.
Yes. Is Metabo impact driver, which sounds like something else too, It's always good to have new tools. We are cutting with like our retaining wall has sprung some leaks, and I think it's because the trees that were along the retaining walls got a little too ambitious for the space that they're in, and when it rains really hard, it's looks like little streams of pee flying out of the retaining wall from in between the cracks and going into the neighbor's yard. So we remove these trees, and they're small trees, but we got this little chainsaw, this little handheld chainsaw, and I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but it's just like the same thing with power washing. Like power washer, I just want to do that stuff. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's fun to use a tiny little chainsaw, or use a power washer. It's the same thing. Stuff like that just sounds fun.
I'm deciding to end with going this full circle. Oh, interesting. Bandai Namco logo, and then the original Namco logo. So the first Ridge Racer game on PSP is just plain old Namco, and then I guess by the time this one came out, so I just thought I'd come full circle and end on the second Ridge Racer game. This one did not come out in the U.S. This is Japan and Europe.
It's on PS4 now. You can play like the emulated version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? What?
Yep.
I'm actually quite interested in that.
Yeah, I think it might be PS Plus Essential only or whatever.
Oh, you can't even buy it?
I don't think you might be able to buy it now, but I'm not sure if it's possible.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's possible to buy it. Some of them are for sale and some of them are not. I bet you could buy this one. I think it's Capcom that doesn't sell theirs.
I didn't even realize that there were like a bunch of those. Are there like how many are there? I didn't realize. I didn't even know about. I knew about like.
Well, you can get Valkyrie Profile Lenneth.
Wow.
You can get that one. That one's on sale for $11.99 right now.
Wow. Huh.
I thought about doing that because I don't have any of those, and if I'm gonna get one, that'd be a good one to get.
I mean, I don't mind buying if it's cheap. I don't mind buying some like that digitally that I own physically.
Right. Yeah.
So funny thing is, this is the Japanese version, but I bought it in Europe. It was like one of the games that I wanted to buy when I was in Europe. Because
let me finish these Matthews. Yeah.
And
there's a couple another one too. Matthew continues to say, also taking a chance on a new Retrofires GameCube controller. Soon their first one is not great but usable. Looking at specs, the revision seems leagues better.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a GameCube one before that.
Yeah, I didn't either. But what I really want Retrofighters to do is make it so that their Dreamcast wireless one, the dongle that is used for the memory card, like works with the VM2. They've been saying that there's a firmware update coming for that for months, and I've not used that thing because it doesn't work. They still haven't released a firmware update for it.
What was it that doesn't work with it?
So they Retrofighters released a wireless Dreamcast controller. Right. And because it's wireless, what they had to do is the wireless dongle has slots for the VMU, which is it's kind of a cool design. And it works fine with regular VMUs, but the VM2 is that Kickstarter or Indiegogo funded SD card VMU, which is good. But I just want to be able to use that.
Oh, Pretty Chill Phil says you can buy this for $9.99.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna look into that right after the stream. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean that and a Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. Do you have any version of Valkyrie Profile?
I have the Japanese PS1 one and the PSP version.
Okay.
I wonder how that looks scaled though on.
I'd be curious. I don't know how any of those PSP games look on there.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get this one then too because
I'm curious.
Anyways, but Matthew continued and says, as always, Brave Fencer Musashi forever. World's been destroyed twice. Tape mode and such.
Tape mode.
I just like the world has been destroyed twice.
I love that he's always bringing that one up.
Yeah, I mean that's an all-timer.
So this is like really similar to the first one.
Very close to that mountain to make it comfortable. You know, it's funny. So, you know, if you've driven through Cincinnati, there's that part where when you get off of like 275 going south, and it takes you like through the middle of downtown. When we were coming back from Arcade Legacy, you know, it takes you through like the middle of downtown, and you got like the stadiums on one side and like
yeah.
And John's like, this is like a Ridge Racer track. And I'm like, oh my god, it totally is.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're talking about because you've driven me by there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like just straight through the middle of town. I mean, it's exactly like a Ridge Racer track. You know, like this big straightaway with like these big iconic buildings on both sides. It's kind of amazing. Then there was $2 from Genova Vienna. Thank you again. Saying Sega Genesis people making new games sound and look great. Yeah, especially Eartheon, that Yuzo Koshiro one shooter that he's working on. Can't wait for that. I will get a cartridge of that.
I wonder if the version that
as long as it's got a beveled PCB.
I wonder
Not
if
beveled.
the version that they're going to bring to modern consoles is going to be just like the Genesis version emulate, or if they're going to do it like Xenocrisis style, where it's like actually works natively on the system, like how it's like widescreen. I think it's widescreen, or if it's not widescreen, they at least have like stuff in the wings, like maybe some HUD stuff. I forget in Xenocrisis.
Yeah, I think that it's got like the stuff in the wings. Even though I have all the games on that collection, I might end up getting like that Switch collection of all 3 of those games. Just that, I guess Xenocrisis on Switch is like it's an expensive game now.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
That's the version I have, the Switch one.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I have the Genesis cartridge. You have the Genesis cartridge also. I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I bought one and then they sent one. But that game has been released for everything now.
Yeah, I know.
Neo Geo version, there's the N64 version, there's an SNES version.
I mean, I think John was saying like he wants to like pick their brain after they finish that, because I mean, just think of the incredible experience. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Like they had to really learn and figure this stuff out. Like how to make this game work on like all this different hardware. Like there's some of the few people in the world that has that like well-rounded experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't think of anyone who's developed for so many, older platforms outside of Artemio, right?
Yeah.
And of course, some of the 240p test suites are done by some other people like Pino Batch, but he's done a lot of them himself, like including for systems that rarely have homebrew done on them.
I wonder if the PS5 version of this has been translated.
Is what?
If it's been translated, is it
Well,
Japan only, or is there a European version?
I mean, there's a European version, so.
Oh, okay.
I wonder like how it looks, because like things like Parappa the Rapper and LocoRoco look really clean, because I believe I'm pretty sure I tried demos of them just because I wanted to see what PSP games looked like on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So the campaign is starting off with a lot of the same levels as the other one. So this is kind of almost like more like an expansion pack, I guess, maybe.
It's just funny. It's called is the first one called Ridge Racers?
In Japan, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Ridge Racers and Ridge Racers 2, but here they just called it Ridge Racer. I think that's a shame. I think they should have stuck with the Ridge Racer.
Yeah, and then they called the Vita version of Ridge Racer. And then, do you have the N64 version?
I do. That one was done by NST, which was like Nintendo's like kind of
weird.
first party, just out of college team. I mean, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it still exists. Yeah, have you played PSP, like actual PSP on the RetroTink 4K before?
Just to capture.
Yeah, I've been
Like,
I've
are
been
that
pretty
just that first
impressed.
time? Like, I guess I guess
I mean, of course, I'm not doing any LCD effects since I'm streaming, you know, but I bet that looks nice too. I mean, I just loaded up one of the wobbling pixels profiles, and I didn't need to change a thing. I mean, there's
are you using the grid? Did you use the grid with that?
Well, no, because I'm streaming.
Right. Oh yeah.
I didn't even look at that because I was I did something kind of stupid, but it worked out just fine. Like at like 7:20, I decided to run to Best Buy real quickly. Try and squeeze that in for the stream. And like when I walk in the door, like John is like calling.
Oh yeah. So what did you?
But I was well. I really needed to get some more internal storage on my computer.
Oh.
Just because like there's things on my computer that I'm not ready to like move into the archive, and this Final Fantasy 14 video I did for DF is like my computer's just like I was like literally like shoving files like anywhere they would fit for this project, because I was like I was so full of space that when I was rendering out the ProRes for it, I got to the point where I had to delete the previous ProRes to make room for the next ProRes. Like that's how bad it was. And there was just too many things I wasn't ready to archive off of the computer yet. So I was like, okay, I need to get another drive. And I don't trust getting SSDs on Amazon anymore, because I bought one that, I mean, it looked exactly like the one that I returned. I sent it back to Amazon, and I got the exact same one from Best Buy, and it looked, I compared them before sending the one back to Amazon. The packaging and everything looked identical, but it was definitely flaky.
Yeah.
And it was definitely flaky, and it was not working right. And so like I don't really want to buy. I mean, luckily that Micro Center is going to be opening in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So hopefully I won't have to worry about that stuff anymore anyway. Because like I'm sure I could probably get like a higher like I'm not going to find I want to get like another like 8 terabyte SATA SSD at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm not going to get that at Best Buy, but I'm sure I can get it at Micro Center.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But like I want to get that. But what was funny was like I was talking to Henry about this before the stream. Like Best Buy has like Samsung M2 drives and Samsung SATA drives, and the M2 drives are like cheaper right now.
Oh.
And what he said was, because I remember Henry was worrying like, oh, the flash prices are going to be going up, and they are going up. He was saying that the M2s are being manufactured in larger quantity now, and the SATA drives are starting to be used more for like commercial stuff, or like solid state on like a NAS or something like that. So they're like starting to be more like professional use, like stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, so it's kind of weird that like the slower form factor ones are maybe they're not as competitively priced against the M2 ones as they used to be, which is a shame, because I've got like a ton of room in my new computer for installing those, and I want to eventually like have it all fully kitted out. I mean, why not, right? Like,
yeah,
may as well have as much internal storage as you can, as you have the space for. But I don't want to buy them all at once because they're expensive.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to get was an 8 terabyte internal, but I couldn't get at Best Buy, and it's so expensive right now anyway. So it was cheaper to get a 4 terabyte M2.
Yeah. There was
Does anyone hear Sandy
$5 from
on the couch?
$5 from Ben Brody saying, Corey, I took my girlfriend to Kings Island for the first time. Our favorite roller coaster is Orion. What is your favorite Kings Island ride? So I've only been to Kings Island one time, and I went there. It was before we bought our last house, before my son was born, and I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I am like not a roller coaster person at all. I just don't really like them, and a lot of it goes back to I saw this movie when I was a kid called Roller Coaster, and it's like a roller coaster crash. It just like really freaked me out. But on the flip side, you know, we spent all the time that we were there at the water park, really, because my daughter was still like too young to really take her on a bunch of stuff. But I do like the water park stuff. However, I did just get a invite from like our local friend group of like parents and everything, saying that they are proposing a day where we take all the kids to Kings Island. So if I'm feeling particularly brave, maybe I'll try out Orion and I will report back to you. I didn't realize that you were so close also.
I used to not like roller coasters, and then I got really into them for a while, and now it's been so long since I've been to a theme park that like I kind of feel scared of them again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's just something about them. I just like it's like it's scary, and you know, like that's kind of the point. But I don't know. I think I just saw that movie when I was a kid, and somebody puts a bomb on the track, and it makes a little piece come off, and the roller coaster flies off, and it's really just this one shot of it, like the cars flip upside down and it hits the ground, and you see like obviously like dummies of like people sitting up, but it kind of like smacks them down and just like skids along like the pavement upside down. And I that like really made a strong impression on me that made me not want a roller coaster really ever again. And it was I was fairly young at the time, so I've just never been a roller coaster person. And you know, my wife doesn't like roller coasters either, so we're like, oh my god, what do we do if like the kids like roller coasters?
Do they?
And we're like. Well, we don't really know. I have no idea. I think that they like to act like they would like them. But when they're like faced with the reality of getting on there, like I'm not sure if they would go through it with it. But it would like it'll be interesting to see what happens. And we say, what if they really like it? And we're like, well, we'll just like send them with other people all the time then. We don't have to go.
You know what's funny about Kings Island? I've never been to Kings Island, but I remember like way back, like probably 2005, 2006. It was probably about 2006. Like when my parents had moved to Michigan, and like I spent like a summer and a half there. You know, I wasn't really there living with my parents in Michigan for very long in those few years that they lived there. But, you know, I remember me and Drum and Xavier were like musing about like meeting up at Kings Island.
Oh, wow.
Like, you know, this would have been quite a few years before I met either of them in person, right?
Yeah.
Because I met Drum and Linneman in person at the end of 2009, and it was probably 2010 when I met Xavier in person. I would say. Yeah, we were talking about, but like, you know, it's like it was like so weird. Like we never did it because like, you know, I think Xavier lived in Virginia or Maryland, which so it would have been a drive, but you know, and Drum lived in Indiana, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it's funny thinking about that though, because I mean, like the idea of meeting internet people was still like a little scary, I think. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say like scary because it's like, oh, you don't really know this person. Like for me, it was more like, I think just being socially anxious in general, right? And the idea of like meeting these people that you talk to online, like in person, just seemed like big scary step, right? And I don't feel that way anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like going to conventions was like.
What do you got on that SD card, really quick? I mean,
I don't know if I have anything on this one, but we will find out.
Low on space.
Well, it's not like these things hold much.
You can get adapters that will use micro SD, just so you know.
Yeah, that's not what I have in here. But I mean, like I would say going to conventions, like if anyone thinks like, oh, I'm too like, I have too much like social anxiety to go to gaming conventions or something, I would strongly recommend that you go, because I feel like going to that kind of gathering like helped me get over a lot of social anxiety. And like now just like meeting internet people, meeting people with a common interest is like not weird at all or difficult at all anymore. So that was actually, I think a big thing for me. I've got, who knows if these would even boot up because of like how they have to phone home and you can only have it working on like one system at a time. Like these might be registered to work on my PSP Go for all I know.
Might be
Soul
another
Reaver,
reason to hack that.
Granja.
Granja.
Me and John were laughing about Granja when I was in Germany.
Smoking that Granja.
Silent Hill, Mrs. Adventures of Trombone, Resident Evil Director's Cut, and Mighty Flip Champs DX. Out of curiosity, let's just see if this would load.
Yeah. In the meantime, I will read this $10 super chat from Skelvin Knight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, what is your favorite video game sound effect? Mine is when a boss dies in older Square RPGs.
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about. Cheers.
That's a good one.
My favorite is definitely the eating food in
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage.
That's exactly where my mind was going.
And I like the extra life sound. I like all those sound effects that are like in Streets of Rage and Revenge of Shinobi, because they share so many of the same sound effects. But the other ones I really like, and things that we've used in a lot of videos, is I've always loved the sound it makes when you pull stuff out of the ground in Mario 2.
Yeah.
And going into the doors in Mario 2. There's something about some of those like NES sounds where they almost sound like digitized, like the voices in in Kung Fu.
I really like a lot of sound effects in Yoshi's Island. I like the Koopa stomp sound in Yoshi's Island a lot. It's kind of more of like a clomp and foop sound. I like the switch, the like when you step on like a red switch in Yoshi's Island. I like that sound. Most people always think of like, oh, I hate the Baby Mario sound, but really, I think it's all about, it's got so many other good sounds. I love Kamek's little like, however, I can't replicate it. There's a lot of just neat sounds. So I think
these all, I want to say, I think these games are going to all work fine, because I think they just need to be on a system that's activated. And once activated, the system doesn't need to
ever
phone home anymore. Yeah,
well, it's just
because
that I didn't know
it
what
was too
system
long
I had
ago
last used
to
them
like
on.
have to.
Right, but I didn't know what system I had last used them on. So
Yeah. Well, Space Harrier, like I love the sound that the dragon's fireball sounds, like the boop 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 boop.
So I think what I'm going to need to do, because obviously it's outpouring 240p, so I have not updated like the profiles that other people have made in a long time.
They come out with a full SD card yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
With the newest update.
I want to be careful before I do that because I've got a lot of profiles and stuff of my own. So
I keep like a specific folder that just has my own profiles or.
Right, but if it's like a whole separate SD card image.
So
this is for HD Retrovision cables, so this should work. Yeah, so I don't know if the sampling is quite right, but
we need to do Foley work for video games. I don't think that anybody wants me to do that.
Do what?
Foley work for video game sounds.
Foley work is like a skill that always amazes me. You know what I was
Or is this where he goes, cast him in when he throws them in?
What
madness is this?
I skipped it.
Speaking of Foley, I was really admiring the sound work in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth when you control Aeris and you dodge. Like just the sounds of like her clothes rustling against each other and like her bracelets and whatever. Like it's just, there's a very rich sound to it. The sound that just feels especially convincing. I kept just repeatedly dodging with Aeris when I was finishing up the game this weekend because I was just like, wow, I like the sound of it.
Yeah, that last dungeon was like way too long, wasn't it?
Well, we shouldn't talk too much.
We shouldn't talk about it, but I just wanted to confirm that like you felt that it was unnecessarily.
Well, you had prepared me for it to be so long. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, I think that if you were not prepared for it, like you would have been annoyed.
Probably. I mean, I feel like it was less visually interesting than the final areas in Remake as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some cool stuff about it too.
Yeah, it just goes on for way too long. I mean, they could have kept it as just as good.
This, man, let me look up close at this. Man, this doesn't look right. This really doesn't look quite right. Maybe... Huh. Yeah, the scaling does not look right. It's very... So maybe you really do have to have different settings to dial it in for PSP. Because I just loaded a PS1 profile and I thought like, oh, it should work because it's 240p.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look quite right.
These gates twist space.
You don't know what doesn't look right. It
looks soft.
It could just be the. Oh yeah.
Well, no, because like the vertical at the very least should be sharp, and it doesn't look that way. It's just is not quite right. So.
Did you do your auto or your phase?
Well, no, but I mean, PSP video
So-
output's pretty junky anyway.
But you should try to do it anyway. It's just,
But I'm not going to bother with it right now.
You're not gonna like press down on one button on your controller or on your remote just to see if it works.
I've gotten so used to doing everything being very hands-on with with the Retro Tank that I don't even know what the shortcut buttons are.
It's you press the on the up and down.
Oh,
there.
auto
There's
gain,
like-
auto
like-
phase.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Yeah, that didn't really change anything. It's the vertical that doesn't look quite right, and that's what's got me puzzled. Because it should just be 240p. Vertical should always just be sharp. Because it's just a line. So I don't. So maybe the PSP is outputting this a little weird. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it has. Maybe it's.
Oh, duh! I know what's wrong. Let's fix this.
You mean the game settings? You have the. Is there a filter on?
No, it's because I'm outputting it in 480p.
That would do it.
So, let me switch the output back to the system. Switch to interlaced. And now I'll turn it back on. Whoa! Whoa.
You have HDR on or something?
No. Let me do auto gain.
Oh, because I think that you have it set the brightness on those HD retrovisions is set for like having the switch set to low.
Yes. You're right. Let's load up.
Let's try that
Tron
again.
Bond. Oh, I can't load up Tron Bond.
It's not working?
Let me see if I can load Resident Evil. I can load Resident Evil.
Yes. Okay, so you haven't activated it. I mean, you could activate it some other time, but
Hey Sandy, what's up? Wow, I didn't realize it was quarter to midnight.
Yeah. I mean, after you see
this-
if this is right, we probably need to
needs to
call
be
it because I'm
auto
gonna
gain
just like gonna
again.
go right to bed so that I can get up early and just like. I got 3 hours of work meetings tomorrow, but
Take it.
I'm just gonna be getting as much of that video done.
There he is. We met that guy. Resident Evil. I want to see if there's a. This probably is not a good screen for auto gain because I think you have to have something white in the screen for auto gain to work correctly.
Yeah, well, I think those is the text white there.
I don't think it's pure white. So this might be too bright now. But anyway, let's see.
That looks good. From
Yeah.
at a glance.
Yeah. Oh, see, look, like Jill's face is like all blown out. So let's try that again.
Oh, that screen would probably work.
But yeah, this is obviously you would want to use a proper profile for this, but I don't have one on my card. But
Yeah.
it seems to basically work once I realized because I was using 480p for PSP games, which you should, of course.
Yeah. Can you skip the intro or no?
Yeah, I did.
What is this? Wow. What a mansion.
What a mansion. I, Albert Wesker, have most certainly never been here before.
Does it look a lot sharper now?
Yeah.
Stop it. Don't open that door.
But Chris is.
The horizontal looks weird,
Maybe it's.
but I think that's mostly just
Can you go?
that's partly because PSP output is just not great.
Let me.
But you could probably optimize it better, but it looks better.
Stay alert.
It looks better. Like, let's see.
Blood. That's my favorite. I hope this isn't Chris's blood, but I absolutely like how he just says blood. Blood.
Whoa. Auto decimation phase. That's not working quite right. Whoa. Let me see.
That was another $5 for from.
Well, I think I've screwed it up now.
Yeah, it's another $5 from Matthew. Thank you. Saying forever wanting a new Onimusha game or a worthwhile remake of Sunset Riders. Also, my Trinitron KV27FV300 will outlast me and want to try a Point Blank game. You should try Point Blank.
Point
all
Blank
three
is
of them.
Great.
Yeah.
I really want to get the first. I want to get the first. Like, they're weirdly, not as cheap as you would think they should be. But
right.
I still need to get the first one.
If you're looking for a good time, and like a mindless good time, it is absolutely 100% like top of the list of ways to spend an afternoon. Second only to House of Dead 4 with the sharpshooter.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it, I guess.
Yeah. Thanks for the donations tonight, everybody. I hope
know
everyone
what
has
I
a good
grabbed
week.
that I did not play?
Yeah. Oh, there's a $2 Canadian right under the wire from TLB Toast. Tulb Toast. Thanks, Tulb Toast.
Thank you.
Toasted. You want some toast with your eggs and toast.
But anyway, games that I brought down that I did not boot. I mean, most of them were RPGs, but I was just like, well, if the mood is right, maybe I'll just see what they look like, because I've not booted them. Wild Arms XF, Star Ocean First Departure, Tactics Ogre I have booted, but I wanted to see, because John said that there's, once you actually get into like the scaling looks bad, but he said there's some button you can push once you actually get into a battle that then makes everything like proper 1-to-1 scale.
I have that one. Mine's sealed still.
Yeah. And also a sealed Ratchet Agent Clank.
Ratchet Agent Clank.
Ratchet Agent Clank.
That's a great name. Really quick, Taust is asking when is Here's My Question for You coming back? And we recorded an episode last week. I guess Chris just hasn't had a chance to edit it. I will ask him about it tomorrow. And if he's unable to do it, I will do it as soon as I finish with Tuesday's episode.
Anyway, that will do it. So yeah, we'll look out for that episode on Tuesday, and we will see y'all next week.
All right. Take care, everybody. Good night.